Yeah,
I'm
that
out
is
of here.
bullshit. I mean, like a trailer that has fucking commercials. Are you serious? This is already a commercial. The trailer is a commercial.
And the
Like, what are we doing
NFL on
here?
their highlights, I guess, has commercials.
Those are ridiculous now.
So that's the one.
Like every 2 minutes is a 30-second ad, and it's like, are you kidding me with
If the
this?
price keeps going, obviously, if it gets up to $20, I'm gonna do something else.
That's
But
why I watch NFL. I don't pay for none of that. I watch what I want.
but yeah, that the YouTube. I mean, I'm on YouTube a couple hours every day, no question about it.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. It's more than a couple hours if I knew
plus,
what you were saying.
apparently, people get more. If you have premium, they get more per view than the ad revenue.
How much is that shit?
It's like $13 a month now, I think.
I think they might have bumped it up to like
YouTube ain't doing
15.
enough for me to be paying them $13 a month.
No, I get you, but
So, like,
admittedly, like it's just the
and
the
there's
ads.
ways around ads.
it
my
pushed
friends.
the thing that pushed me over was it said
I don't want to do that either.
the
That's
people
the thing.
whose channels you're watching, they get like more money than if you watch the ad, if you have YouTube Premium and you watch their content. So I was like, you know what, that's a good way for me to support the people too that
Oh, I know what I do. I turn that shit on my TV and watch what I want on my computer screen. I ain't got to deal with. So they get their revenue, and I don't have to sit through no damn ad. That's all it is to it.
Hey, what is it? How do you do it? What is it?
I watch YouTube on my TV. I go to wherever I'm gonna watch, put it on my TV. That way, it's already in my queue, and I let it play. It can play 10-minute ads for all I care. I go to my computer and watch what I want when I want.
without
And
ads.
that's how I do it. Without the ads.
The ads already ran or something is what you're
Yeah,
saying?
it run on the TV, so I don't have to watch
okay.
that shit.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if
I mean,
you
that's good. I
download
guess
though. I
that's
wonder
good.
if with premium you can also
Am I
download.
too savvy for you?
Well, no, that's true because also YouTube Premium. There's
I don't know
also
if you
little other things,
download
like,
it if you're
you
like
could download videos.
Yeah, they got features and incentives.
I don't
and
know if
whatnot.
you have to watch ads like. Well, obviously you already have premium, so it's like the
Yeah,
ads
they
No,
will be
should-
no,
there.
should
But
I downloaded
better
some
not give me
videos
no
when
damn
I was on
ads.
a plane. When I went
yeah,
on a
because
plane, I did watch
if
some
you're
videos.
offline, then obviously you're not gonna. It's a nice feature. Like I said, if it
That
didn't,
and also you could
I ain't on a
shut
plane that
your
much.
phone. You could shut up your phone and you could keep listening
that
to the
that's worth
video.
it right there.
Which I don't know why
It
that's
shouldn't be
there.
locked.
You used to be able to do that, by the way. They
Yeah,
took
no,
that shit away.
Yeah,
'Cause I
None
used
of
to do
my.
that on my
I never had a
phone all
phone
the
that could.
time.
I never had a phone that could do that. I know there was some. I think there were some phones that allowed it.
Where is
yeah,
it? I
that is
think
genuinely weird though. But
I
yeah,
don't have it with me. My old ass iPhone used to do that. I just had no problem just playing the audio, and that was cool. But now you can't do that shit anymore. So that ain't no extra. They took that shit
no,
away.
no, absolutely, it is.
And put
It's
it
weird.
behind a
I'm not gonna
paywall.
but also, I mean, to be fair, I still live in this household, so my family still pays for like Netflix and
Yeah.
Disney
Must
Plus.
be nice.
Like I'll hop on. I don't watch a lot of things, but like when I do, I could just go on their account or something.
Yeah, my Peacock's free through Xfinity internet, and then my buddy shared his Paramount Plus with me, which is nice. I'm watching all the Star Trek series, and then I got Max for a year for $40.
Did you watch Halo? It's on Paramount.
No.
I
I didn't watch Sonic and or Knuckles, whatever.
Oh, Knuckles! That's
Halo
right.
fans don't even like that shit. That's trash.
I did watch and enjoy the Twisted Metal show, which I don't think they're getting a season 2 because I think Anthony Mackie's in another show now. I think
That's right.
saw.
That's right.
I still haven't watched that shit.
It's fun.
Paramount, is it?
It's half-hour episodes. It's pretty easy to get through. Yeah, I didn't at first. I just couldn't accept him as this wisecracking Deadpool like character, but I definitely by the third episode I started to, because I just wasn't used to seeing him like that. He's always the stoic, wise character, like just the good dude, trustworthy, and then have this wisecracking, Deadpool like character with him.
You must be talking about Marvel Anthony Mackie, because homeboy's been in tons of movies where he's played tons of different characters.
The first movie I always think of is the Adjustment Bureau with Emily Blunt and
He's
Matt
in 8
Damon.
Mile.
He was in 8 Mile? I only saw that movie one time.
He's literally the final
He's
dude
in-
that Eminem versus.
He's in this movie called She Hate Me, Spike Lee, where he plays, I think he's an investment broker, but he loses his job, and so to compensate for it, he impregnates lesbian women. So I've seen Anthony Mackie and all
Well,
kind of
also
stuff.
in
So
what else was he in that he kind of played kind of that stoic character? Oh, I just had it in my head too. It wasn't a Marvel. It wasn't anything Marvel related.
Actually, yeah, hold on. He's been. I mean, I know for sure I've seen it in some. Let me see.
Oh, he's in a
Once I
Netflix
see.
series where the like the post-apocalyptic set with him and a girl had to do with a hot air balloon and going to a ship. They were like exploring the radioactive areas of the cities and stuff, and yeah, he was.
oh, he's also in the worst season of the 2-season show. The what is it? Altered Carbon.
Oh
Or something
yeah,
like
he
that?
played Yeah, he was in the second season.
Yeah,
Well, he's
the
in
sucky season.
The first season was good, man. I don't know what the
I
hell.
loved the first season. I loved it.
That dude he wanted to do DC movies, and he must have. I don't know if that's why, but he was the Suicide Squad, and
Yeah, he's in both of them. He's in Suicide and The Suicide. He's also the guy who
You
played
know, Joel
RoboCop in the
Kinnaman or
remake.
something?
yep.
Yeah, Kinnaman. He was RoboCop in the remake.
And he was in the Hannah series on Prime. He played her dad, but he wasn't in the whole show. But yeah,
I'll say that Anthony Mackie's also in
oh yeah, season 2. Matthew.
the R series is a Detroit and The Hate You Give. I don't know if you guys ever heard of those.
No.
Are two really good movies.
Apparently, Twisted Metal is season 2 has wrapped filming on Twisted Metal.
Which one?
It's a little corny. It's all right.
Which one?
The Hate You Give, based on
You
that
didn't like
book
it?
about Tupac.
Oh, you thought
It was
it was
all
alright?
right. It was all right.
T, why don't you tell us
Yeah.
how you felt about the Northman you watched
I,
last night?
I enjoyed it.
Man, that's bullshit. I was so excited to watch that shit. What a bunch of
Robert, I'm not
bullshit.
I'm just curious because I know you said you liked it. What for you?
Well,
how did you
I'm not gonna say it like I didn't I liked it. I thought it was really good. And also remember it was 2 years ago. I can't tell you like specific.
just remember you liked it. You don't remember why.
I remember.
Damn.
So you
didn't like it that much then?
I saw it. No, but bro, after that, there's hundreds of other movies and games and things that if you see my video, I don't remember a lot of things apparently. Remember?
What's the point?
I think it'll be pretty enlightening for you to watch something a second time, like years later. Like you should make a list.
No, for sure.
And say these are the things I remember liking from this year. Let me watch 5 or so, and see how they.
I mean, remember, I have movies,
see how they stand up.
My 10 favorite movies, right? But but also I remember I saw it in Adobe Cinema. I went there. I remember it was night. I went and I saw it. And,
I didn't like it from the technical stand, like the audio video.
Really,
there was nothing about it.
I thought it was a really good looking movie that was that kept me engaged the whole time.
I think it wasted its locations. I don't think it did much cinematography wise.
Really,
and I was like, are they gonna go for supernatural, or are they just trying to show how the reality of it? That it was just their beliefs, and there really wasn't anything happening. But then at the end, I was like, was a volcano or something. I remember.
Yeah, it turned into Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah,
it was Obi-Wan versus Anakin at the end. I'm like, what is this?
So maybe I don't know.
He's a very artsy director, which I like that shit. I ain't gonna lie to you. I like that.
Hey, I like it when it works. When it doesn't just feel like it's artsy for the sake of being artsy. I don't.
For sure.
That's what I felt about the Green Knight.
I didn't feel like this movie was, though. To be fair, I mean, I didn't feel like
it felt like that to me.
Yeah, when they're barking like dogs, I'm like, this is some of the most fucking, like you said, sniffing their own
embarrassing. It's what it is.
We're actors.
Delicious.
We're actors. Look at us. That's how I felt.
God bless them. They went for it.
Yeah.
I definitely didn't think that. I know.
I went in. I heard good things about the movie.
Yeah, me too.
I didn't know anything about the director or any of the other films he's made. I went in just completely ready for a good movie. Had no preconceived notions. I hadn't heard anybody say anything negative, and T and I had the exact same thoughts. We're just like,
well, to be honest, I know I would never expect you to like it personally, Juice, just because I know your taste and stuff. I wasn't thinking about that. But T, I wasn't too sure. I know you could go. You kind of lean either way when it comes to stuff like that, so I'm not too
I
sure.
bought the 4K. I was
So did
in,
I.
Oh, you bought it?
I
don't know
bought
why
it
you-
too.
don't know
I
why
got
you-
it for like
see,
$10. I didn't pay a ton.
I thought I've had it for probably 6 months or so.
Yeah, I
just
looked
didn't
back
get
at our
around to it.
chat, and you're like, you had a list of movies. I was like, not the Northman.
Mhm.
No, I don't like to. I've stopped buying movies that I haven't seen. Like I don't know. I'm not too sure. I'm only gonna buy movies that I've actually watched. If now I'll rent it.
Depends on the price. I'll take a chance on it for like $6, $7, $8, $9, $10, because that's the price of a movie ticket anyway. So
yeah, but then you got something that you got to keep all the time now.
you know,
It's like,
and
oh,
maybe
shit.
I'll
I'll never
rewatch it.
watch it again. Like I'll never watch it.
Maybe
again.
I'll
I already
rewatch
know
it
that.
in 5 years and be like, you know what, I was wrong. You know. But I just remember that in the Green Knight, like the opening shots, and I'm like, oh yeah, this.
Oh, well, Green Knight was. I thought Green Knight was.
This director is all about
I liked it a
himself.
lot.
He thinks he's doing some really
No,
spectacular
Green Knight
shit.
was not the same director.
I
but
know, but I'm
also,
just saying, like,
oh, okay.
I got the same feeling, like, yeah, this
I like
director's
Green Knight a
like,
lot.
he really feeling himself with this opening and
T, have
the
you seen
shot.
the
I
Green
like
Knight?
I like artsy fartsy abstract films, and this
Yeah.
movie did not do it for
I
me
do
at
not.
all.
I don't like the
Did you
artsy
see
fartsy.
the Green Knight, T, or no?
I have not. It's on my list to do.
I had
I'm
no
worried
idea.
now.
I had
I'm worried
no
now.
It's
idea.
not the same director. It's not
I
the
know,
same
I
director.
understand, but I'm worried that it's going to.
It's
have
more
the same
artsy
effect.
fartsy than the Northman. Way more artsy fartsy.
Because
You
I heard
did?
the same kind of talk about the Green Knight that I hear about this film. That I heard about this film, and I'm like, oh no.
I didn't like
Well,
Oh,
I
no.
the
will
main
say that
actor.
he's actually he's directing not the Green Knight, but this Robert Eggers. That's his name. The guy who did the Northman is doing Nosferatu that comes
Oh,
out.
I have no
Like,
interest
okay,
in that
I
now.
mean,
days.
I actually am super interested in Nosferatu because I love.
I have
the
no
original.
interest in it now. I did.
So,
Now I don't.
That worried me now. So
Because here's the thing, I rewatched the reviews for the Northman after I saw it, and it was Chris Stuckman and Jeremy Johns, and they're both like, "Oh, it was what is his name? The director?
Robert Eggers.
It's a Robert Eggers film." So I already knew it was gonna be good. I'm like, "Oh, they're just kissing this. They're sniffing the farts of the director before."
I mean, I'm not gonna lie though.
Before he
That's one of my excitements for Nosferatu. I'm like, oh, it's a Robert Eggers film. It's gonna be, it's gonna be good.
I have no interest anymore.
That took a lot of the excitement I had for Nosferatu. It just drained it.
I'm just trying to think of the point of the Northman. Like, what did they think they were accomplishing with that movie? I'm like,
like that's what I'm saying. I left that bitch like I don't know what to feel. I don't know. Like I can't root for anybody. Everybody's terrible. Like that's problem number one. I have nobody to root.
Are they
for.
just trying to
So-
show you what it was really like? What they think it was really like for Vikings? That would be kind of interesting if that was what they're going for.
If it was interesting, that would be interesting. But it wasn't.
Like
interesting.
I looked at in the chat when I 2 years ago.
There
when
was
I watched
zero.
Zero character
development.
Dude, I literally said that in the group chat like 2 years ago. I said, if you want to see a good show or a good thing about Vikings, watch the show Vikings from the History Channel. Like, the History Channel put together a show about Vikings that's better than this movie. And I literally said that there's zero character development. I don't know or care about these characters whatsoever. Like,
barely any world building. I don't know where I was most of the time. Years it did a graphic came up. It was like years later. Like, what? Are you serious, bro?
Yeah.
Years later? Like, you didn't need that graphic.
I will say again, I didn't rate it like super high. Like to me, it was a good. Let's see what I rated. I'm pretty.
I
sure gave it,
literally
like,
said to T, I said,
7 or 7.
I'm never watching this movie again.
Yeah, I feel like I'll never watch it again.
Yeah,
Let me see what I gave it at the time.
And then, it's just like, I guess I don't want to spoil it, but don't watch it. anybody listening, don't watch it. Like naked infight. Well, I mean, what was the point? I don't understand. Again, I like artsy stuff. I like abstract film, but it has to give me something. Those films give me something. This did not. Gave me nothing but frustration.
Damn.
And it made Jeremy John's top movies of 2022, and I was mad. I posted fucking Northman. I think it was his number one, if possibly.
What? Why?
Because I
mean, I could understand, but
I
Again, like
think
Didn't do
it got really
anything.
good.
that
It got
is
really
part
good,
of the
you know.
that's part of the thing. Oh, I like this director, and I'm gonna be the guy who puts it as his number one. This film that no one else picked as their number one. That's how I feel about it.
No, I mean, if you go back, I mean, like critically, people really enjoyed it, and even audience-wise, it wasn't as mixed as I thought it was gonna be. Like I thought it was gonna be a little bit, especially because I thought it'd be like super mixed, but it was more on the positive side.
Hmm.
So that's why I thought maybe T would at least enjoy.
Let me take you
enjoy
back to
somewhat.
December 16th, 2022. I watched The Northman last night, Robert. Unfortunately, it falls into the category of I can't see myself ever watching it again. For most of the movie, all I saw are actors on screen doing and saying silly things instead of seeing actual characters. In most movies, I don't even think for a second about the fact that they're just actors saying lines. So I don't know what it was about this one, but that's almost all I thought for what felt like almost 3 hours. Honestly, if you want to see a better take on the lives of Northmen, watch the show Vikings.
Well, I felt like before I watched the movie, and everything, I felt like it was gonna be like a revenge story. It set up, and it was gonna be like based in Nordic mythology. I'm like, yeah, this is great. The setup is fantastic. That's what got me in, and
Yeah.
you got no payoff. It was literally no payoff for any of that stuff.
Robert thought it was because it was a slow burn. That's why I didn't like
I had
it.
no problem with that. I don't have a problem.
I
with
like
slow
slow burns
at all. Yeah,
I said there's really no character development, and the story didn't make me feel anything about anyone. I think there was a dozen scenes where it was a handheld close-up of actors staring directly at the screen as they spouted their dialogue.
yeah.
And then the fight
Well,
scenes
that
just
year,
looked like actors who had practiced it once or twice.
It was nice and gory in spots. Man, I appreciate that. But the central plot, you snatched it away the minute he grew up, and his first thing he did, like, I don't care about this dude. He's horrible. He's running around with these horrible people, and they just did a terrible thing. I don't care about his revenge anymore. Gone. So now I have about an hour and 20 minutes of the movie left.
Did
Well,
you
now
feel
what
like
do I
the
do?
fight scenes were bad? Because I that's another thing I said. The fight
I
scenes
felt like the
looked
fight
fake.
choreography was ass.
Well,
Like,
what wasn't as
there's a literal mini boss sequence. I'm like, oh, he's finna level up. He
Yeah.
got to the mini boss. He gets the special treasure from the mini boss, and nothing.
And then Anya Taylor-Joy's in it, isn't she?
Yeah,
Is
she's in it.
not a ton, but yeah,
She
she's
did
in
nothing.
it, yeah.
And then you're like, Lighthouse. I said, Lighthouse looks like trash. I want to watch a movie, not some acting class exercise.
Yeah, because that movie was directed by him also. That movie you guys would.
Jay
like,
said,
that's for sure.
clocked it, said
Movie with,
Northman was overrated.
With
Pattinson.
Pattinson and William
Oh,
Dafoe.
That's going to
there
be
we go.
just as bad as
Black
that.
and white.
I'm gonna go ahead and scratch that out of my to-do list.
Just like,
The
that's
one
going to be
that's
just
like
like the
black and
dog
white.
barking scene for a whole movie.
Well, also, I'll say that in 2022, I was very surprised because Juice did like my favorite movie of that year, which I think might have been your favorite
One
movie
all
of the year. And I
time,
don't know
or
if you
everything
TV
all at
saw it.
once.
Yeah,
it's
everything
a good
everywhere all
movie.
at once.
a lot of people
Well,
love that movie. I mean, that was fantastic.
Did you see that one yet? T, that's a
Yeah.
great one. Oh, you did.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
great.
okay.
Great
Yeah, I saw it on
characters.
that. I saw the streaming, but yeah.
Got a
Love that
little
movie.
too
That's a
much
great
with the rocks at the end. I mean, I felt a little something for it, but
What the Roxas is so cool. That was so cool. With the
it was a little crazy. But yeah, it was all in fun. It was a fun movie with some cool fight choreography and a really cool idea. So can't believe that was
All
2
right.
years ago already.
Yeah, yeah. The time flies. Well, it's gonna be 3 years next year.
Well,
Next
since
month
I
is
watched
literally
them.
2025. Is that crazy?
I watched those
Fucking
movies
hell.
like around that same time in 2022.
Okay. Still.
But yeah, I watched 2 movies. I watched Deadpool Wolverine and Alien Romulus this past week, and Deadpool Wolverine is like a really good movie. I just didn't laugh that much. I was surprised I didn't laugh that
I'm
much.
surprised that
Like,
you didn't.
I literally 53 minutes in, it's the first time I laughed. I know it because I checked
Really?
I checked it because I'm like, wow, I think that was the first laugh, and I looked. It was 53 minutes into the movie.
I laughed a
Damn.
lot.
But then I watched a reaction right after, and I was laughing at the opening way more than I did because sometimes comedy, I feel like you definitely get it. It's better on the second viewing. That's how I always felt. Like Deadpool
Yeah.
1, I liked it the first time. The second and third time, I laughed my ass off, like, and it instantly went up to one
That
of my
happens
favorite movies.
sometimes. Like I hated, like literally hated Napoleon Dynamite the first time I watched it. I was like, I will watch it again, and
That's just so
it's
Yeah.
one of my favorite movies of all time. I love that movie to
good.
death. So
Yeah, that
if it
is.
happens,
That's a classic.
I
That's
don't
greatness.
know. I can't think of another one that. I know I saw a movie with my work buddy. We used to go see movies all the time, and he didn't laugh a single time this movie. Well, I can't think of which one it was. And I was like, man, that I felt weird laughing because he was just like so like nothing was funny. And then I watched it by myself, like when it came out on home video or DVD, Blu-ray, whatever it was. I think it was Blu-ray. I laughed my ass off. Like, what the hell, man? Just feeling like the awkwardness of my friend next to me, not laughing, just really affected me. And that's when I realized, like, I'm not going to see comedies with people if it's the first time I'm watching it. I'm not going to watch a comedy with somebody else.
I get that. I do get that, to be honest with you, because like
Yeah.
that's why yeah, I can understand like watching a comedy alone, so you don't have that almost reaction. It's like, why aren't they
It's like
laughing?
it'd be like if you were doing a movie
little
reaction. I
awkward.
would feel like obligated to have a reaction to, like, that's why I think you said.
Yeah.
I think after a while they get used to it, but that pressure of like,
Mhm.
I'll never forget this. I saw The Mask with Jim Carrey in 1994, I believe, at the theater. I'll never forget it because it was the early days of digital sound, and they had it so loud it was just ear piercing. Everyone was mad about it, but I enjoyed the movie, and I talked it up, and it came out on VHS, I believe. Yeah, it was VHS still. And my whole family gets around the TV, and so is my dad, my mom, my brother and his girlfriend, my sister, maybe her boyfriend, and me. And we sat around, the old 25-inch TV back in the day. And not one person laughed the entire movie until like near
man.
the end. And then I felt like the ice broke after that. But it was just this most cringe, like, because my dad he's not slapstick comedy guy. Jim Carrey, definitely not somebody he cares about. And it was the most awkward thing of my life, to be honest. It was so bad. Because I talked the movie up. I was like, oh, I was so excited. This is so funny. And I overhyped it for one. And then, it just didn't hit. No laughs happened. And it just got worse and worse the longer the movie went on. So what's up?
This is one of the funniest movies. Have you seen? Have you ever thought about seeing this?
I've heard about it. I don't know. I'm reluctant to try it.
Yeah, me too.
I'm telling you.
That seems like an artsy fartsy one, but
it's artsy fartsy, but not in like a way where it's like it's straight up comedy. Like there's a lot of like super comedic, over the top stuff that's funny. Like you have to you do have to like go into it. It's like, all right, it's literally about Daniel Radcliffe is a dead guy that is also
I get the premise, but yeah, it's just
and so you just have to say, all right, let's see where this story takes us, and it's just funny as
it might be funny. It might be funny.
So funny, man.
Matthew Chase said The Green Knight was boring.
Talk about funny and Jim Carrey. I saw Sonic 3. I saw Sonic the Hedgehog 3, which is the best Sonic movie by far. I don't even
which
think
means
it's
it's by far better than the Super Mario Brothers movie then.
Ooh.
Well, I guess I actually, no joke, I would give them the same rating. So it is essentially like tied with, for me, like the best video game movie. But like I thought the first
Mortal Kombat.
well, I thought the first two Sonic movies were the same score for me. They were good movies that just I enjoyed, but at the same time, like they always had the side plots that were so random to me. I know Juice enjoyed the wedding stuff in Sonic.
I thought that was that. I didn't care for Sonic 2 much, but that was like the funniest thing for me. Like at that point in the movie, I was like, everything else was kid jokes. Oh, I'm making a mess. I'm gonna make a mess in the living room while the parents are gone. Like that stuff doesn't do it for me.
Well, I mean, I don't think I laughed at that specifically, but like in terms of Sonic 3, like there's a lot of funny moments, and Jim Carrey's awesome in this movie where he plays two characters. And it's just so fucking hilarious. Like I thought it was generally a very funny movie, and the action was surprisingly really good. Like the end, obviously I won't spoil anything, but like the end scenes are genuinely epic. Where I was like, damn, where are we going with this? This is actually pretty like way more intense action than I thought. And it goes pretty over the top in terms of, it's two powerful hedgehogs bashing into each other, and I thought it was actually genuinely surprisingly really good, and I generally thought it was great. Like I super surprised. I thought, again, every single one have been good, but nothing like that. But this one was generally, I was like, oh shit, it ended. I was like, this was actually really good. I enjoyed this shit a lot. So
Yeah, my
it
son
doesn't.
when he saw
I don't think it makes my top 10 of this year, but it's close there. I might. It might be one of the two Blu-rays that I'll pick up at the end of next year. We'll see.
I mean, I plan on probably just picking that one up. I'll just skip two. I own the first one. I'll probably just get the third one and never.
That's actually the same with me. I own one, but I don't own two. It wasn't on my top 10, so I didn't pick it up. But we'll see if I'll pick up this third one. I don't know. I thought it was great, like generally, but there's been a lot of great movies this year. So for me, it's just not on my top 10 right now. But
No, if I may channel Jeff Goldblum, eventually we're gonna have some video games in our video game podcast.
Yeah, we're talking about video game movies.
technically it's a video game. I mean, yeah, there was there was some pretty cool video game references, of course, in the film where I was like, oh, and
I know that. I know what that is.
Yeah, it was one of those. But I mean, not like a ton, but like there was a handful where I was like, oh shit, that's cool.
Yeah, and just to wrap up, Alien Romulus was really good too.
Oh, hell's yeah.
There's a few things I wish they didn't. I would have tweaked if I got to like go over the script before they filmed it, but just for my personal taste, got a little.
I would have moved it along a little bit.
There's that
at the end.
I thought it was kind of dumb when what was it about halfway through the film? They're just like, the girl gets the thing on her face, and then they're like, oh, she might be infected, and then they're just like, no, we're just gonna leave you guys behind. Like, really?
Yeah.
Over that? Like, you didn't.
Hey, we get.
Here's
what I want to say. It's not fair because we aren't fair when we do that. There's bullshit like that in the first movie.
Yeah.
And we way critique that kind of. Oh, why are they so stupid? They're so stupid.
It was stupid. Yeah, obviously they wanted to break protocol with the but that's where that was the first moment where I was like, what? They're leaving them? Like, at least just lock the door and say, hey, can we talk about this? No, we're just gonna leave you.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
That was. I mean, that was just effed up.
How'd you think of the intro of like that planet looks so cool, like that they're on walking, and I was like, damn, that looks like Blade Runner sort of thing.
Yeah, definitely.
They said
exists in the same universe.
Yeah, they exist in the same universe, and I thought I saw something where they said they were gonna really try to really show that in the next one, because they are making another one. It was profitable, and probably didn't make as much as they wanted, but
the movie looked better than most movies I've seen in the last 5 years.
I liked it way better than anything else they did up until like the third act of Prometheus. I was really enjoying Prometheus until it got
I was enjoying Prometheus, even though the first time I saw it, I was like, why is the guy who's the map guy is the guy that gets lost? Why is the smart animal guy the one to touch the stupid snake and get attacked? Like, that's just bad writing. That's just stupid. The movie had great pacing, great visuals, cool idea, and then you just botch the characters. Like, so anyway, I was glad that I like both those movies, and I actually started watching Romulus right after I watched it all the way to they were leaving the planet again. I was like, I can't watch it back to back. I got to turn it off. Like, and it had amazing sound. Like, horror movies in general are always good for surround sound, but horror movies I usually don't like. Most horror movies, they're usually dumb, and this movie had just amazing like sound design going on, and so it was the full package and visually looked great. So, all right, video game wise,
I think. I think I have two horror movies in my top 10 this year, which is surprising. Which would one be Alien Romulus, and the other is The First Omen. Man, I really enjoyed that movie a lot.
Wait,
I'm telling you.
It's called The First Omen.
Oh,
that's the title of the movie.
Literally The First Omen. Yeah.
I was like, that was one that I was like, it's gonna be whatever. And then I saw it, and I was like, yo, this shit was awesome. I was very surprised. I thought it was genuinely really good tension horror, like for me.
Yeah, like I was never like even a fan of the original Omen. I like the idea of it, the devil's son. That whole the premise is really good, but the movie itself I didn't really care for that much, so I don't have any, purity. There's no, I have to pass a purity test for me to watch any remakes or any of that stuff. Although the Omen remake is like shot for shot lazy bullshit, so I don't know if I'd watch that either.
Kind of
I'd be
like
curious what you
Psycho.
think of the first
That's the
Omen.
one. Yeah, like Psycho. That's the one with Liev Schreiber. I think he's
No,
the
it's
dad. No.
Vince Vaughn.
No. I'm not talking about Psycho. I know Psycho's
Oh,
Vince Vaughn. I'm talking about The Omen.
okay.
It's Liev Schreiber and what's her name? She was hot in the early 2000s. She was in Save the Last Dance, and she was in the Matt Damon trilogy, the Shaky Camera trilogy.
Oh,
uh,
Julia Stiles.
Julia Stiles. She was in that. She was in that too. Yeah, Julia Stiles. I think she plays the mom in the remake of The Omen. And it looked boring as shit. So I'm like, nope, I'll pass. But I like when I like when South Park like did a parody of it, and they had Damien was like a new kid in school, and every time he would come in, and they would bully him, and he would do some demonic shit. Demos Dominus to crack me up every time.
Do they do any Latin in the first Omen? Does anybody speak Latin? A lot of
I'm
those.
pretty sure. I mix it. I probably.
I'm sure.
A lot of
I
those
don't know if
movies. There's a lot of
There
Latin.
are some.
I'm pretty. There's got to. You got to be.
There's
Latin,
sometimes
you know?
like some subtitles, but I don't know if they're speaking Latin. But
Usually, if it's any kind of demonic anything, you always got to speak Latin to like.
Oh, I will say that's the one thing I did enjoy about the Northman was that I felt like I was doing a side quest for Hellblade. Again, complete with a mini boss fight and a treasure that you get from the mini boss, but it wasn't real, right? So
Wasn't it like in his head, like a?
Yeah, but we still saw it, so it was real for us. Yay! Consequences. Yeah, I didn't care for that film.
Yeah, I have a few I'll never watch again movies in my collection.
you gotta watch.
What's up with Skarsgård doing all these weird roles too? He always takes his weird shit. He could be like a leading dude in a lot of big.
I gotta
big
watch
movies.
that yet.
You could cry in this movie. It's not like artsy like that, but it's just good romance, good drama, good drama.
Oh shit! I had the chat blocked. Let's see.
Horror games.
Donnie, he liked the Sonic 3.
Nice.
80s Howard the Duck plot and thought it actually true. I haven't seen Howard the
Oh
Duck
yeah,
in a long
there was
time.
genuinely video game music in Sonic the Hedgehog 3, which was some of the stuff that was like, oh,
Sonic the Hedgehog.
That was, I mean, we bring up the Mario movie. That's where I feel, yeah, they had cool moments, but just replace every pop song with original music.
Kept taking me
and
out of
that
it.
is a shame that they recorded, they made music
That's
for
gonna
that.
that would
Yeah.
make that movie instantly a point higher for
Let's
me.
get a director's cut and get rid of all that pop shit that just took me out of the movie.
For sure.
Yeah, I don't need to
I
hear
get
the Beastie Boys Brooklyn song. I want to hear some classic Mario sounds there with a score, you know.
Yeah.
But
I get it.
as far as gaming, I did find
Some of that Mario Calypso, man. I was looking forward to getting some of that Mario Brothers 3 kind of music, but no.
Anyway, I started Final Fantasy VII Rebirth this past week, and it's the largest game now that I've ever installed. 146 gigs. It comes with a second disc to install. So everything's.
It comes with a second disc.
Yeah, so you don't have to there's a patch. It was like a 16 gig patch, but you know the game itself before the patch is on both discs. It's a little bit of a slow start as far as you can't really. There's a lot of cinematics in the beginning, and then you're in a small little town that you can't do a whole lot. But I just finally got outside of the Xenoblade Chronicles X Lake area, and I was like, it got late, and I was like, I better save it now. I'm feeling tired, and I haven't got back to it. So, or maybe
so games on 2 discs. That's gonna ruin it, you know, like the GameCube.
Well, the one argument about the GameCube is, yeah, there was some games on 2 discs, but some of those games to put them on GameCube probably would have to be on 4, 5, 6 discs if they wanted to, you know, have the same game that was on the other systems, because you know they had a 7 gig DVD versus a 1 gig. So if it was a 2 disc,
and most games didn't use all that shit. Nintendo only games that were really using all that was like Final Fantasy had all these fucking
Yeah.
cutscenes and shit.
But if a
That's
game
where
used
all
two
your space is taken
DVDs,
up.
if a game used two DVDs, you gotta assume it's gonna be like 8 gigs
Yeah,
or
but
more.
what I don't remember two DVD games during the PS2 Xbox era. Do you?
I
I don't
thought you said
remember
there
them.
was game two. Or
No,
were
no,
those C?
two
Oh, those were.
DVDs
Was the
on
X original?
PS2.
Was the original Xbox CD or DVD based?
It was DVD. It
I'm
was
not.
literally DVD. Yeah.
I don't know.
You,
I thought you said there was. I didn't. I actually didn't look when you're
Yeah.
No,
video.
no, he's joking.
I said Xbox
Yeah.
360 had dual disc games.
But I think it in some cases I'm guessing it would have
The
been.
PS3 didn't because it didn't need it because it had Blu-ray. Xbox 360 was not Blu-ray.
Yeah, that's true.
Or it was DVD still.
I wonder
Yeah,
though.
had
I'd be curious
like
to find
GTA
out
5.
if it's like, yeah, we could put it on GameCube, but it'd be 4 discs, and do we want to do that? You know, I don't know. I'm just saying that's something. I think it, but there was a decent amount of dual disc GameCube games, mostly the Capcom Resident Evil games. I think all 3 or 4 of them were.
Again, a lot of cutscenes and
Not the well, I mean that was
music
only but like
files.
I got Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. That's a PS1 game. That was one.
Yeah, I
disc.
meant the new ones, like Remake
Yeah.
4 and Resident Evil 0. I think were all 2 discs. Twin Snakes was 2 discs.
Yeah, that was the first time I ever used 2 discs, man.
I mean, that literally is a movie. So,
Yeah.
so Kojima makes it.
But either way,
interactive movies.
They
just getting back into the swing of things. Basically got through the tutorial section and got in this bigger open area, which reminded me of Xenoblade Chronicles 1, I guess, not X. And it's definitely it's a good looking game for sure. I liked the combat in the first one, but I haven't had to do too much kind of getting back into it. But I will say, I don't know about the original game, but I was reminded how much I don't like Cloud as a character. And I don't know. He's just I don't know what they're kind of hinting at something. And I don't know, like I said, this is a reimagining, so I don't know how much is true from the original game.
Squall is much cooler than Cloud.
But they just he's just like he's an asshole. There's so many times where all he has to do is just say something to like Tifa or Aerith or whoever's talking to him, and he just gives them no response, and just like, wow, he's just an unlikable dude. Like he doesn't have any good qualities really. He helps people and does things, but it's like, why would he? I'm doing it because I'm playing the character, but I don't feel like he would do these things. Like, and if he did it, it wouldn't be because he wanted to. It's just because he thinks people would expect him to do it. Like,
he's edgy and angsty.
Yeah, that's what he basically is, and I'm just like, I just don't like him. Like right there, like there's a moment with him and Tifa, like he could just say something and it'd be just completely resolved if you just say anything, and he just doesn't say anything for no reason whatsoever.
If I was 10, 12 when that game came out, maybe I'd feel the same way a lot of people do about Final Fantasy VII. But yeah, it's the same for me. I was fucking 18 years old when that game came.
So I don't know if that's how he was in the original game or if this is the new.
No, he's like that. That was a trend in the mid '90s games, especially in RPGs and stuff. You have characters like him.
And I did try to watch the Final Fantasy VII animated CG. What was that called?
Oh,
not the
Final Fantasy.
Not the Spirits Within, but the other one.
Oh, not the Spirits Within.
Advent Children. And I just like, this was just, I couldn't make it through. It was just terrible.
When was this? Wait, was it recently?
No, it was back when it came out on DVD.
I thought you were like, I'm gonna prepare.
No. And I'm just like, I don't know why I thought of that. I just remember not liking any of the characters that I thought was just over the top. But yeah. But other than that, like, it's I'm enjoying it so far, and I'm not gonna try to like rush through
the
it.
Beach?
Honestly, that was my problem with a lot of like early anime in general. Was like those types of characters. It seemed like there was a lot of them. Just, I'm so cool and badass, and I was like, no, you're not.
That's what I know about the game is that Tifa and Aerith in bikinis
and Cloud with his little trunks with his 8-pack.
And it looks pretty good.
I will say Aerith's a really charming character. It's hard not to like her. I mean, Tifa's the one that gets all the attention, but honestly, Aerith's the one
Well,
for me.
we know why she gets all the attention. There's a reason for
Eris,
it.
I mean, Tifa's
No spoilers.
she's a good character. It's not like Eris is way more charming. That's what the actress who played her was nominated for performance for the Game Awards, and I'm like out of the first game and this game, I would definitely give it to that actress because she makes a character that you actually feel something for. So, and that other than that, I feel like I had one other thing to say about. No, that was it. I thought maybe I had. Oh.
Toys and toys and toys.
What the hell?
Yeah, you can't see it. Can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what is it? I heard of it, but so what is it? It's a you play Tomb Raider on there and only Tomb Raider, is it?
No, it's a handheld. It takes cartridges. There's a home console version, and then there's a handheld you can just take on the go with you.
And it comes
They
with
play the same.
comes with Tomb Raider.
This one comes with
Kind of like the
that's the only
Switch with the
difference.
OLED screen.
And-
You could have played those on.
And yeah, no, and these are the original games. They don't mess with them at all. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so obviously it's cartridge based, and it's cool because you can, like I said, you can take it on
And
the go
it's
with
sealed.
you.
I think I see it sealed.
Yeah, it's sealed because I already have one. I already have a handheld,
Oh,
the white one, and I wanted to get this one because I was like, I'm gonna play because the white one that came out has like all the Street Fighter, not all of them, but a bunch of Street Fighters, but they're only built in. There's no cartridges for them, so I'm like, so I can't really get rid of it because all the games are built into it. It kind of sucks. I was gonna trade it in for this one or sell it or whatever, but I don't know. I probably still will.
Are you gonna take out the Tomb Raider or no? Or are you gonna keep that in there?
No, I'm not gonna. I'm keeping this, but I don't know.
No, but are
you
you
get the game?
Yeah,
Oh
the
no,
game.
I'll just buy the game loose. It's only $20.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
I saw you also got a new game box. You posted. Was that a new purchase?
Oh, yes, my friend. Where is it?
Oh yeah, that's right. You got
So I was
it
always
just
so
the
jelly
box,
of
or
yours.
did you buy a complete edition?
No, it's just a box. It's just a box. I wanted to get because I had a repro. That one is. I put it somewhere. I had the repro of this, and it's just it don't got that Riz. It's not as shiny, and it don't have the nice the nice shiny collector's edition plate on the front. And so I was always feeling envious.
I told this story many times, but
I had it before. I was one of the early adopters. I think you had to. Did you have to pre-order it to get that?
Mm-hmm. I don't know if you had to, but I definitely pre-ordered.
You either had to pre-order or you had to buy it early because after that they started coming in like the carts weren't gold; they were like gray and shit.
Did that come out in 97 or 98?
98. Come on, bro.
So I was a year out. It came out on my birthday though, November 21st. And so it was a year out of high school. Me and my friends, like on Friday nights, we go to the local hockey game downtown. We did that a lot of Friday nights. We couldn't old enough to drink or anything. So and there was this girl that we always saw there with her friends, and she has just like long black hair, pale skin, just exactly like my dream girl. And we never got up the guts to talk to him because we were pussies, And I'll never forget this. It was right around. I went to the hockey game. I think I still have my ticket stub from that. And like the next day or the 2 days later, because I think those games came out on Sundays back then, the N64 games, and that was like a Friday night. On Sunday, I went and picked up the game from Toys R Us. My pre-order came in, and I was in we had an 82 Z28 Camaro. I went and picked up. It wasn't snowing or anything, so you could still drive it in the snow.
You had a Z28 too?
Yeah, rear-wheel drive, posi traction. It wasn't mine, but it was in family's. I went and picked up the game, and I looked at it. It wasn't opened, and I said, if I had the choice to like open this game and play it, or talk to that girl and marry her someday, but never play this game, which choice would I take? And I said, I'm playing the game. I told it to myself. I was like, I'm playing the game. I don't care if that
It's
was
funny how I used to make similar like thoughts. I had a girl at the time, and we were very new at that point. And I was like, she would call me, and she could hear like the music to like the fucking forest temple in the background. It's like, oh no, I was gonna ask you to come over, but I know you're not going to. I was like, you're right, I'm not going to. I'm playing Zelda, baby. Sorry.
And I mean, I wonder if anybody was listening up above, maybe they're holding me to that still to this day because I haven't had much luck since then.
No.
But yeah,
I
pale
happily
skin.
turned
She
it
did
down
tan. She didn't tan.
this
You
right
could tell
here.
she wasn't in the tanning booth. She was I wouldn't say goth. She wasn't like putting on white powder makeup or anything. But man,
You're just naturally a vampire.
yep.
So this game, I mean, this is the million seller box. This is the repro that I had, and I never
Okay.
liked it. And it has the
Yeah,
big,
I don't like it either.
player's choice thing, and it's ashy, and I didn't like it. But yeah, so this one, I believe, the million seller ones were they were grade carts. So
Yep.
if you look online, like the gold carts, their prices are going way up, like because they're rarer. Like they were only in the first initial batch, I think. So
What
hold
did
on
that
to your
game
gold cart.
end up selling? Like 6 million or
I
something?
was gonna say 7, maybe.
I'll look it up, but yeah, I think wasn't it like pretty sure it was like the second best selling until Breath of the Wild came out.
No.
In Tears.
I think Twilight Princess, was one.
Oh, you mean that
Ocarina
it was
was
like the
two.
second best.
Zelda game?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the second best selling Zelda game.
Yeah, it was.
This says more than 7 million. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wonder when the gold
Or this one
cartridges
says,
stopped.
huh,
I was bummed too because I was expecting the NES Zelda shiny gold, and it was that textured
Yeah, and
flat gold. And I was like, I was bummed to be honest. Now I don't. Now I think it's fine. But when I first opened it,
I'm gonna make this all fall down a bit.
Yep.
Trying to get to. There we go. There we go.
this one's
Oh.
saying more though. This one's saying like,
I don't think it
oh,
was.
they're
So-
probably maybe they're including the 3DS title.
You
'cause
can
it
see
says,
the
like,
difference between like the gold and this cart. I actually put a piece of tape over the label because the label started, going
Peeling.
like light. What? Not peeling, but like from touching it, it just got lighter and lighter and started kind of. But then you could, I don't know, you can't really see on camera here, but the difference. This felt like they poured this bitch plastic in gold.
Yeah.
Like, and this feels like they painted it basically,
Mm-hmm.
and you can see like it's starting to scrape.
One of these days, I'm gonna buy myself a original Zelda NES Gold edition. The gold cartridge.
Oh, you don't have one?
No, I never owned any NES games. Well, I did, but my grandpa's. It was his system, and when my cousins
think
got
all
the
of them-
system, I just gave them all the games.
All of them are
I do
gold.
have
so
one.
I don't think they're rare.
My parents got it for Christmas.
Yeah. Let's see. I have a gray cart with the original Chant.
Look at this. That Ocarina of Time 3D sold 6.4 million. Jesus, I didn't know they sold that much.
Oh yeah, it's so that was the beginning of the 3DS like turnaround when that game came out.
Yeah, that makes
3DS,
sense.
3DS was not doing well, and that game looks so good still in 3D. It's such a good looking game. I heard something about I saw a headline about a surprising port for a Nintendo. Anybody know what that could have been?
No.
What do you mean?
It looked like it was a 3DS game, at least from the
What, like this came out?
or.
You talking about the Ironfall Invasion?
Well, we talked
Oh,
about
is
that
that
last
it?
week.
Oh no, that might be it.
It might be what
It
you
might
guys
be
use.
that.
Yeah, because we showed that last week.
Yeah.
Oh,
I just saw a
original Fire
headline.
Temple had a chant in the music that was removed. Really?
Yeah, because it was Gregorian and it sounded too like religious.
So
Yeah,
if you
so
have the
The gold one still has it,
okay,
and the gray one that they changed it.
That's
I remember that. Yeah.
I mean, there's some. I mean,
And
there's
not
some.
only
Like,
that, but like some Gerudo like artwork also was removed too, because it looked too Muslim.
Hmm.
So they got rid of. Yeah, they changed that too.
I mean,
some
hey
of
man,
the.
there's some creepy shit in Ocarina of Time where you know the
Well, yeah,
with the
Ocarina of
with
Time is
the blood on the floor and the noose or whatever shit. It was like,
yeah.
yo,
At the
what's going
bottom of
on?
the well. I just finished that level, so it's fresh in my mind. It's still creepy.
I still remember the music guy that was creepy as hell. What
Oh yeah,
was
the
that? The speed
windmill.
up time, or what was that song for?
I think you
I
play.
think that was to yeah,
I
to
just
pass.
did
Yeah,
this.
that was to go. I think to go
Yeah,
back
yeah.
to speed something up. I think.
And he was like, "Oh, this is too fast," and he's like,
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't remember the song, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
That wasn't the.
Was it that?
Yeah, because that's what he's playing
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
when you go into the well, the windmill.
The the Song of Time music. I don't, in my mind it's like this orchestrated
That's the
awesome
song
music, but in the game I'm
Sun or
sure
the
it is.
Sunlight, right? That's the Sunlight song. What is it called?
Unfortunately, I don't know the difference in names.
Song of Storms
Oh,
was the
Song of
guy.
Storms. Song of Storms. That
And he's like
game is so good, bro.
Yep.
That game is so.
that.
Zelda's
is pretty
Lullaby, Song of Time.
And yeah, there's like a time loop based with that guy. He's like, I
Mhm.
remember somebody doing. I was like, yeah, it was me, bitch.
You know what has a great song is it Chic? It's like Chic's theme is really good. It's this nice piano theme that I never hear, but when I heard it in the game, I was like, damn, this is awesome. And it's not like one of those more iconic ones, which surprised me because I think it's one of the best tracks in the game.
Well, one song you
It's
never
an
heard was
amazing reveal that didn't get spoiled by some asshole on the internet. It was just an amazing reveal once you actually found out who Sheik was. I was like, oh, this is dope. This game just keeps. It just kept getting
Mhm.
better.
There's one
Yeah,
song
I'm sure
Robert
I-
isn't going to be
yeah,
familiar
sure.
with. That's the song to call Epona. I'm sure you I don't know if you heard it.
I'm sure if I heard it, I would be able to because it's probably iconic.
It was like the Lone Ranch song.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah. It played it at the ranch when you're in the
Yeah,
ranch.
they play at the ranch when you walk in.
That shit, like,
Yeah,
when I hear that in like the orchestra and stuff, it makes me choke up a little bit.
Yeah,
that,
no, it's
that
great.
game, that's my goatee. That's my of all time.
I should get the 3D
my
version though, so I can play
I've
it
never
with the gyro
gotten
aiming
either.
and stuff.
You know, I don't
3D
know.
version is very good. It's Majora's Mask they screwed up with.
The last time I played it was on the GameCube with the
And the Water Temple, a simple little quality of life thing by putting like the water level next to the lever,
Mhm.
so that way you know where the water's gonna. I mean, like that's all it would have taken to not make people hate that level.
I never had, like, honestly, I didn't
never
have
had a
much of
problem
an
with it.
issue with that level.
Me neither, but I know that like that haunts people's dreams. That
I was
level.
surprised. I
The
didn't think
Spirit
it
Temple
was as
without the
big as
lens
you
of
are.
truth.
Spirit Temple is
I
awesome.
don't remember that.
Yes, the lens of truth, and it's also like the mirror shield.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god,
I love the
that
mirror
was
shield.
Oh, so good. What a great mechanic. That game is amazing.
There was
That
a similar
game is amazing.
mechanic in the Tears of Kingdom in the Sand Temple with the reflection, with the reflecting light.
Man.
I solved that shit like
Man.
like
I
10
was like,
minutes
this is
total. I was
embarrassing.
in that temple, solved it. Like, oh wow, that was it. Like, shit. I was hoping for more.
Yeah.
Not
Surprised
the,
you guys thought that was so easy.
I was
don't
like,
know.
mini boss.
well, I went up a
like
couple
nothing.
floors. I used Ascend, got up a couple floors,
Nothing.
and I thought I broke the level. And then I was like, and I'm looking. Well, where's the last one? Oh, it's just this on the very base level after you walk in behind this gate. Like, that's the first one you have to do. Whatever, I forget what you had to activate. It's just right there.
But what an amazing boss battle.
No, I hated that boss fight. Wait,
My-
trying to get Riju or whatever to go where you wanted her. So
Oh
you could
my
use her.
god, she was annoying.
I
I
turned her off. Like, for the rest of the game, I think I only activated her a couple times for the rest
really,
of the
you know,
game.
I even now I have all of them on.
I only keep the.
They all run around with me.
I can't stand.
love that.
Every time you're flying, then you got the Gorons, like Yobo or whatever. He's like preparing to
Yeah.
launch. I want to just fly around. I don't need him preparing to launch constantly. It's annoying.
Well, then just don't launch them. Just
I
have them with you.
I just hate the sound. I hate seeing them do that the whole time.
Well, it's only and then it's just
So I just
it's a very quiet.
only one I like is the guy who gives you the wind boost while you're gliding. Just helps you get to some places. But yeah, not to hit.
And he also is a sniper with that fucking bow and arrow.
Yeah.
He's taking bitches out. I was like, what is this Kirby? What is that fucking Kirby game that
Yeah,
plays
Star
itself?
Allies.
Kirby Star Allies and shit. I was like, damn, he's
So
taking bitches out like a ninja, boy.
It's crazy, Robert. You sent that Minecraft Breath of the Wild when I had seen a couple of the guy's videos, and then I just watched his whole, the final after he did all the uploads. He basically covered his whole journey. It was like an hour and 20-minute video. Yeah. But he didn't like show. All right, here, let's walk through these areas. No, he never really showed it. I don't know if he just wants you to play it yourself. He was live streaming today.
There is a link that you could download it.
I just want to see what it looks like when you're walking around as in the Minecraft perspective, as your character. That's what I was hoping to see. But
that's another thing. Yeah, the wind guy. I forget who his name is too. I don't care. The Ritu.
Starts with a T, I think.
He used to blow my fucking bombs away, blow my fucking arrows that or anything that I'm trying to pick up. He just blow that shit.
Oh yeah,
I only use them. Like I said, I only use them if I'm like in the sky. I got to get to an island, and I don't think I'm gonna make it. Then he sends you forward, and then helps.
Yeah. It's a little
on the ground though. He's just knocking all your shit out of the way. You trying to collect shit.
Then you get the fifth.
You blow that shit.
You get another champion later, and I was like,
the Avengers, man, you got all of them.
Rarely use that. I rarely built anything. Like I love the game way more than T, obviously. Like
Ganon must be like nothing. I'm going in with all them motherfuckers turned on.
It is a cool, there's a cool cinematic involving everybody, but
yeah.
I didn't care to build stuff, like the basic stuff I needed. I did like holding the sign up. I found that fun. I did every one I found. I didn't find them all.
That's the one thing I thought would have really annoyed you of all things.
Because it's a clever little each one was a new challenge, honestly.
Clever. I did that. I cheesed all them shits.
Sometimes you could get away with. Sometimes you could find some quick solution. Other times I have this big old contraption just to hold up this little sign. And I don't know. For me, that worked, but I didn't care for building these contraptions like all these people. I thought that would be the thing that would keep the game going 5 years later. Too. And I see some cool stuff, but I'm like, it really didn't impact. It was just for people who like to build like that, like. I like to build Lego and stuff, but when I was a kid, but
building these giant fucking mechs.
I would have liked it a lot more if it wasn't so limited with the connection point. So you can only connect one connection for each piece, so you couldn't tie in and make an actual structure by connecting the last piece to the first piece. That's where I was like, oh, that sucks. Yeah. I mean, that would have got really complicated, but at the same time, for me,
they had to limit it to some degree. I mean,
for me, that's where it lost me, and I'm like, oh, okay, this will be pretty restrictive.
This game had the Switch struggling as it is with all the mechanics. It's still super impressive that they pulled that shit off on the Switch tablet.
I will always say it's amazing to go from the very top all the way down to the depths.
I had the video where I'm flying the dragon. I'm riding the dragon's back, and that's just crazy that you could do that. Yeah, that's crazy. Seamless, no loads.
Yeah. When you're trying to
the top of the sky to the depths, that's crazy.
It sucks when you're trying to. I was trying to level up all my outfits, and you need like stuff off the dragons, and then all of a sudden it was sporadic, like trying to find them. Like I couldn't. There's one that would always show up, and then there's the two others, or three others actually. I'm like, where the hell are they supposed to be? So I watched a video on like their migration
patterns,
and I was like, so I go in reverse order to all the, there's a certain path they take, or one takes, that I was looking for, and I'm like, I don't see this damn dragon anywhere. Like it was kind of like, because I was trying to just 100% the outfit leveling up, so it was more tedious work after I'd already beat the game, so it was just like if I was just doing it more organically as I was playing the game, it would have been different. But I was just specifically looking, and then you get like the horn, and then you got to wait like 10 minutes for you to be able to do it. And I didn't know you could just stay on the dragon's back, literally put the controller down, walk away for 10 minutes, do something, and then shoot the horn again. And instead of having to drop down and then losing, the dragon. And so that was one complaint. But the interesting thing is I saw Switch Up had a poll about games sequels that came out on Switch, and I don't know if it was just in the last couple of years, that they didn't like as much as most people, or it was just games in general, I think. And it was like Hades and Tears of the Kingdom. It was like games that people loved that you didn't like, or something like that. You didn't like as much as everybody else. And Tears of the Kingdom was by far winning that poll. I was like, man.
I mean, I'm also not surprised at that, because one, it's like one of the best selling games, so it's bound to have more votes for that. And it's
true.
like, and it's also like, it's a sequel, so people are gonna feel certain ways about the original versus a sequel. But a lot of it is going to come down to more people have played it. It's highly
definitely
praised.
Over like Hades and some of the other games.
Yeah.
But so anyway, the Minecraft thing was pretty interesting. The dude spent like 2.5 years with people's help.
That's crazy. That's dedication.
Instead of going to college, getting a couple 100,000 views a video.
I didn't know that. I gotta watch the full video, but I didn't know they did all.
And he had quit YouTube. The video initially only got 2,000 views, and then it died. It got no views for 6 months. It was getting no views, and he was like, fuck YouTube. And then all of a sudden, in June, like a 2-week period, all of a sudden 240,000 views and 20,000 subscribers. So he's like, oh, I guess I can try to do this.
YouTube is so weird, man. YouTube is so strange.
I watched that first video back, probably within the last 2 years. Can't tell you exactly when. And then he made a whole channel of it. And now it's what he does. But at some point, are you going to be able to just... Now I'm going to make The Witcher 3 in Minecraft. Like, it's going to wear out.
That's gonna be boring.
Xenoblade Chronicles...
Well, he apparently... I saw that he did, like, some Mario Kart tracks in Minecraft and stuff. That's pretty cool.
I think like Xenoblade Chronicles X would be interesting, but no one would probably watch it.
Go do like Mario Sunshine. You know what I mean? Go do like Mario Sunshine and connect it.
Or all of the Mario Galaxies. Every single one.
I don't know if you want to do that. New Donk City or some shit.
I will say I have considered just picking up Minecraft on the PS5 just so I can, check out some of those created worlds. I don't know what I would do. I don't have online.
I think you would be surprised, and maybe because you like to build things, you might actually get deep into like building.
I don't think so.
Like
based on that video, I don't know. Based on that does not look fun. Especially looks like PCs where you want to be doing that on too, not on console. Because there's all these mods that can help really create. Like,
for sure. Like,
and the keyboard and mouse versus like a controller gives you so much more. Another thing, just randomly, it was because I watched that video. I see a video like made this topographical map of Breath of the Wild, and it's photorealistic, and I was like, oh wow, that's cool. And I ain't gonna say the channel. I don't even know it. I'm not gonna look it up. It was like, he had some skill, but it was the most half-assed thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, he took 1/4-inch foam board and he cut out like the base layer, then he just stacked it, then he's like made up some kind of mixture to smooth everything, and his volcano was just like took some putty, kind of made a shape, pressed it in with a thumb, and it just looked like there was no sculpting done afterwards. It was the most ridiculous thing. He was making it for a friend. And then he's like, oh, I was using this powder, this white powder with glue to give everything a texture. I thought it looked good as snow, so he just covered it over everything, and he blew it off with with a leaf blower, which probably blew off a lot of the stuff he wanted to keep. And then he's like, it wasn't quite white enough, so he's spray painting without taping anything off. He's got all this white overspray everywhere, and then he kind of just brush painted the desert and stuff, and then he put some little trees that looked all right, and some of the paintings were all right, and did a 3D print of the castle. And I'm like, dude, that's not photorealistic. That is the most half-ass looking thing. Usually, I'm used to YouTubers doing stuff that's like, oh my god, like that's amazing.
Going
Like
in crazy.
this is like, I would give it like a 5 out of 10 at best. And he's like, oh, my friend's gonna be so excited to put this on his wall. I'm like, oh my god, dude, it looks like you. That's the first time you've ever done anything like that. It was so funny, but.
What's this, Donnie Arts? You should see how someone is doing a Wind Waker unflooded video.
Probably a Wind Waker run flooded video.
Wind Waker unflooded.
Okay, yeah, unflooded.
No,
video.
I think he means like without the world being.
Is
flooded.
that a Minecraft?
Video where they're modeling the parts in Wind Waker style for Minecraft.
Holy crap.
Yeah, is it for Minecraft?
That's insane.
I never watched a camera. What's that guy called? Where you goes around with breaks the camera. Is it Camera Break?
Or Boundary Break.
Yeah, I never watched one on Wind Waker.
Yeah, she says.
How much of the underwater stuff was actually?
Did he do one on Wind Waker? I used to watch him all the
I don't know
time
if he did.
I think he did.
Is Minecraft on Steam? I mean, why would I want to play it on a Steam Deck?
Go into the water, you would see.
To get a Steam Deck and have the visible.
Why would I need to play Minecraft on Steam Deck? Like, is that a game you'd want to play on the go? I don't think so, but.
Well, yeah, that makes sense to play that on the go because it's like
plenty of people that play on the go.
You're grinding away, you're building on something.
I guess if you were building,
the pocket on the mobile for the longest.
Yeah.
Actually, I'd be.
Don't forget the 3DS one. Huh?
I'd be most interested in whatever one gives me the best like visual mods and stuff. I don't.
Well, yeah, if you're doing
I don't think PS5. I don't think PS5 got any of the ray tracing stuff. I think the Series X got something, but
I don't think they even fully got it. It's weird. For some reason, they never fully came out with it. I don't know why.
But that would be the only thing I'd be interested in.
Well, that's why on PC you'd have to just download some mods and stuff.
I don't have much of a GPU though. I don't know. I'm sure it'd be all right, but it wouldn't
be.
It wouldn't be doing no ray tracing or anything. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, I guess if you really want to get ray tracing in. Other than that, like you're good. Like Minecraft runs on everything.
Yeah, well, I want, like I said, I want like the highest quality texture packs and stuff version.
Yeah, my thing is with those texture packs, it's just not what the game looks like. You have to change.
Minecraft PS5 next gen update. Let's see if this is real.
This is Minecraft.
I don't think it's real.
Let's look.
I've never been a huge fan of texture packs that change what the game looks. I like the base version of
Minecraft. A stylized game
for
like
Minecraft. I do. So this must be the base look.
Mhm.
I mean, it's.
Yeah.
I just don't like in the distance how just shimmery and stuff it is. Like, it's fine to look this blocky and stuff, but I don't know.
What's shimmering?
In the background, all the stuff's like moving, like the pixelated. It's called shimmering. It's when like the jaggies are moving.
Yeah, I know, John. I feel like I didn't really. Maybe because I played so much in it, I don't really.
I mean, it looks all right, but.
If you weren't about looks, you playing Minecraft, what you doing?
Well, because they did have.
Because it doesn't matter, and to me, it doesn't matter what cool thing you build with this level of like texture and stuff. Like it just doesn't do it for me. Like the water, like seeing more realistic looking water in Minecraft to me looks really cool, even with the blocks. It doesn't have to.
Well, I mean, yeah, it is strange that they didn't, because this video
has
ray trace thing that they did have looked insane, but I don't know why.
This has to be clickbait.
It was like it was supposed to be the super duper like pack or some shit.
This video is clickbait.
Yeah, because there's no. It said next gen update. Like, where's the next gen update, bro? Unless
how many views does it have?
79,000.
Where's it? Yeah, 79,000.
Guess it's working.
Yeah, because
made you click on it, didn't it? There ain't shit in there.
Yeah.
Maybe the lighting in the night scenes, but
no, that's the same. That's the same. It's even the same on Switch.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it looks like
they haven't changed. This is not like that's why it's definitely a clickbait, because there's nothing added to. They've never changed the visuals of Minecraft when it comes to
Star Wars.
The stuff. The only time they change visuals of Minecraft is with the texture pack.
Star Wars.
I remember when Jeremy Johns used to be so excited to review something Star Wars. He just
Star
sang that.
Wars. He
Nothing
put
but
the little
Star
thing.
Wars, and then now he's just so jaded and
Nothing but Star Wars.
Yeah, see, apparently they canceled the at least the official Super
I
Duper
mean,
graphics pack.
they-
That's stupid.
really just need some. You didn't need to go all in with the reflective surfaces and the light bouncing. They could have
It
just.
did look pretty cool though.
It looked awesome. They could have just add some realistic lighting without changing anything else. I think it still would look pretty good.
Yeah.
But
Unfortunately.
because I
Yeah,
love
I'm sure there's
that.
a bunch of, there's probably some good mods though that you could download.
Let me see. New shaders look good. Oh yeah. See, I love the pixelated blocky look with like realistic water and shit. Like that just looks so cool to me. But it's not for everybody.
I mean, technically, it's also changing the texture of the water. Too,
Top
so
10 best Minecraft mods. Let's see what this looks like.
I mean, I used to
See, this looks so much better to me.
But it definitely it is.
It still looks like
changing the texture.
Minecraft. I mean, it still looks like Minecraft.
No, yeah, but it's still changing the tech. Like it literally is.
Looks like
literally
Bloomcraft.
changing the
is what it looks
textures.
like.
Like, it's not the same texture. Like that hole with the. I mean, that is cool with
That looks cool.
the
Like,
leaves, but technically it's not.
I love
that
the
water is not that
I love the
texture. They do have
realistic
to
water
change the
with
water texture.
yeah, I love the realistic water with the blocks. I don't know. That just looks cool.
Gotcha. No, it does look cool. I'm not gonna.
It's
say it
almost
doesn't
like
look
that
cool.
Lego
It
game
looks like-
kind of. That looks so.
Yeah. No, I will say it does look very cool. I'm not gonna say it doesn't.
But it's probably too demanding for the home consoles to even for a Minecraft. Some people like changing color palettes and stuff. I mean, it depends. Breath of the Wild, I think some of that stuff looks cool. But that's not how I would play the game. But
Yeah.
what is going on with this?
What the hell is going on with Doom Guy? It's weird. Doom Guy, we brought the
No,
cake.
for sure this looks great. I'm not
Yeah, I
gonna say
love
it doesn't
that.
look great.
I mean, that if I could get that on PS5, I'd buy it.
No,
With
you
the
wouldn't.
Breath of the Wild
No,
map.
you wouldn't.
I
You
would.
buy it. You might buy it, but you play that bit 10 minutes. Then you realize, oh, it's Minecraft. It's still
Yeah, but
Minecraft.
he's
It might
never
be
played
prettier.
Minecraft. He's never played Minecraft. He might get into it.
Retro
But
Death
he don't
loves
like building.
Minecraft.
Retro that was all about trash talking Minecraft for years, and then he plays it, and then he put in thousands of hours of crazy shit.
Yeah.
He's like,
Retro
this
Death's
is the
different.
greatest
bro.
game of all time. I love it.
It's like the perfect game for. I
Lord.
think you said that before you even played it. Like you're gonna love
I
this
was
game.
very-
Oh, look at this.
Yeah, no, I was like, if
Yeah,
anyone's gonna
Retro
love it,
Death
I'm
is a
like,
fan of
play the
Animal
game.
Crossing, so there's
Yeah, I mean, it's got underwater exploration.
Look at
and
this
that's
shit.
why for you love exploration and stuff.
This
exploration.
looks like walking down Tokyo at night 4K
Dude, that's
videos.
insane. How the fuck does he? Yeah, see, that's like what texture pack is that, man?
That's
And
like
shaders,
full
how
ray
the fuck-
tracing, realistic graphics in Minecraft. Like that. I mean, that's cool.
That's insane. It looks cool though. I ain't gonna say it doesn't look cool.
Put that in another game, not Minecraft.
That shit is crazy.
I mean, if you're just it works perfect for this because that makes creating your creation that much even cooler when you can make the city and then look at it when you walk through it at night with the lights on. If that's real, I mean, this could be AI created fake, but
No, there's some texture packs that go pretty far out, so I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
It's fan made shit.
Should we talk about the Switch 2? I see you
Yeah.
have the title. I saw.
Well, I don't.
We got to talk about the thing that's
We
in the
talked
title,
about-
so-
I mean, it's about the right time to start going there. It seems pretty likely that it is what it is. 8-inch screen, Joy-Cons. It'd be crazy
Yeah.
if this was all
Absolutely.
an elaborate fake and then it fooled D-Brand and that other
That'd be
company
nuts.
that's making cases. That would be absolutely. I would think it'd
Satisfying.
be hilarious as shit. Yeah. So with that in mind, I remember. I don't want to put words in his mouth. I'm pretty sure Clocked it at one point. He still thought there was going to be some Nintendo magic, some Nintendo gimmick to the Switch successor. It wasn't just going to be the Switch 2 more powerful version of the Switch. I'm pretty sure he said that at one point.
And to that I say Furukawa.
And it's an
I don't know.
evolution. It's not a revolution. It's an evolution.
It's an evolution.
But even their evolutions usually do more.
Yeah. Wii U did more.
So
not GameCube? Yeah, GameCube. GameCube did more.
Well, you had the analog triggers with the clicking. You had the second analog stick. Obviously, it was the first CD-based Nintendo console.
Well, you considered GameCube the Revolution?
No, it's the Evolution.
It was the Evolution.
Yeah, it's the Evolution. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
But it still brought a lot of new stuff to the table. Whereas if the Switch 2 is what everyone says it is, it's bringing refinements, and pretty much some they've already figured out with the OLED and stuff. If that, the kickstand looks like it's going to be the OLED kickstand. The Joy-Cons don't look to be any more ergonomic. They look to be flat again.
That surprised me.
And I'm just like
I thought they would fit the same, but the fact that they
why not just do some? Why not just round them a bit and give you something to hold on to, man? I don't understand.
Because you can't pass it on and have it be a flat controller.
Well, that's proven wrong with the other ones.
You could.
With those, with the third-party ones, you can turn sideways, and the ones I had before they were defective, the battery wouldn't stay charged. I sent them back, and they didn't have replacements in white. Those worked sideways. I think even better than the original. It's like
Let's experiment, shall we? All right. This is the Switch Pro right here. All right, so it obviously has.
Yeah, that's all the Joy-Cons need. Why not have them do that? I don't understand.
Take them off. Actually, it feels even better when you take it off.
Like
just like the Wii remote sideways.
This feels great. Feels great.
There you go.
That's gonna be that. I mean, I've already accepted that. I think this is what it is. I believe that the Switch 2 is what has been shown. I believe that's what.
Absolutely. I don't think this is we're at this point where it's accessories are made for it and everything. Like, this is it. We've seen it. This is what it looks like. This is the Switch 2. And it's so bizarre that just silence. It's so confusing.
Especially if that's what it is, then Nintendo's just gotta do what all these other companies do. Well, everyone knows we might as well just put out a freaking video that we were planning, unless they didn't even film anything yet.
Well, I guess again, to be fair, marketing-wise, they still don't want to officially release it to millions of people. Hey,
that's true.
Right before Christmas.
Will it be more powerful than this?
No.
No,
it won't have to be because
think that, but I feel like there's going to be a quick, I don't want to say quick, but there's going to be a 2-year period where games are just going to be a lot more demanding, and I feel like that's going to happen pretty soon. Yeah. I mean, Steam Deck will still run, the previous games, but I did my experiment. I didn't tell you guys where it got. So I put now Indiana Jones is a different case, because if you look at the tech specs on PC, they're insane.
Mm-hmm.
They're insane. And so I tried to run Indiana Jones on this through Game Pass, and it said no. It just kept crashing and crashing and crashing. I couldn't even get to the title screen. It crashed. And I tried all kinds of stuff, and it just wasn't happening.
You don't think it has anything to do with just the PC build of the game?
It's a PC. Yes, it's a PC problem.
Because if you run it the lowest you can, I'm sure it would run.
Yeah,
the lowest. I mean, literally.
Unless it doesn't have enough RAM. How much RAM does that have?
It's 16.
But but a lot of games nowadays, they want your video card just to have 12 gigs of RAM.
Right. I think the video card is the issue with this game.
So I wonder if the Steam Deck modded with 32 gigs of RAM, which you have to do a lot of BS programming to even get it to accept that.
The juice is girl right there.
Man, there's a couple in season 2, the tweak to her look, and then there's there's an episode where it's a completely different look for reasons you'll find out when you watch it. And I'm like, that's I almost want.
I got a lot to catch up on.
that's a good character design. But anyway, yeah, I was just thinking today, like, yeah, we talked about that, like how crazy it is that these companies are making products, but we didn't really think about how do we feel about that being the Switch? You know, just 8-inch screen, taller
Okay.
Joy-Cons, flat, no ergonomics. Like that is a bit disappointing. And
But I don't want them to go. Well, my thing is, I just don't want them to go back to the console. And
no,
handheld
I never
split.
thought they
want
could,
the
they
library.
would, but I just hope for at least ergonomics because
I don't
Oh,
think they
okay,
ever
yeah,
will
I get what you're
again.
saying. Yeah, for sure.
I think
I do agree
Nintendo's
with
done
that.
with like straight up console. I think they're done.
Well, yeah, I do think I would want like more ergonomics on it. It would make more sense. And yeah, having it on the side. I mean, as T just presented, like it would still be
Yeah,
more
it feels
comfortable
better.
anyway.
yeah, it is more
It's more
comfortable.
It
comfortable to
makes it a
me.
little bit thicker.
Mm-hmm.
Adds a little bit. So I don't.
A little more
It would make it
girth.
better this way and that way. Yeah, a little more girth.
A little more girth.
Yeah, it just
Good to hold in your
it's
hand.
like
feels
with the
so
Wii
good.
remote. They added that grip, the condom or
Yeah.
whatever, and that worked great
Yeah.
sideways too. Like
Uh-huh.
gave you something to hold on to. And
It's just like, that's why with the nunchuck is a very
nunchuck's
specific,
amazing comfort.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
yeah, it's
So
like
it wasn't just one stiff little thing. It was a curve and everything.
so when you see the Switch 2
One
is
sick little
definitely
thing, huh?
yeah, they're definitely going to go with the different color scheme because otherwise there's no if you just saw a photo without them next to each other and you didn't know the scale, you're not going to know that's the Switch 2 like based on a photo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Other than that
that's
extra
true.
button apparently that's at the bottom right Joy-Con.
I
We don't
hope
want
that
to
extra
confuse
button
people
is
like
to
we
do
did the
with
Wii U.
Miiverse.
What do you think it is?
That extra button, man, better have to do with Miiverse, man.
I think that's a
Extra
I
button.
think that
Oh man, that would be so good.
I think that's the capture button and I don't know what they're going to use the left.
No, they
one
still
for.
have the capture button.
Right,
The
the
capture
capture
button's
button's
still
still there.
But the
Yeah.
new button has a C on it according to the
Yeah,
so I think
which
that
is
might be
why
the new
Steve would be
location.
cat.
It could be
Cat.
chat.
Cat.
for Miiverse.
But I mean, other than operating system and cool stuff they can do once you turn the system on, but the actual hardware, this is kind of uncharted territory. I guess the Game Boy Color was a similar looking device. It was thinner, but they had the clear and colored variations.
And there were some issues like you couldn't run you couldn't run Game Boy Color games in the original Game Boy.
Yeah, but since then, every handhold's been quite a bit different. The 3DS had a similar, I guess, design.
Only thing was different with 3DS was the circle pad. To be fair.
Well, the original
really
3DS, I think, compared to the original DS, it wasn't until the DS or the 3DS XL kind of looked more like the DS Lite. But yeah, it's just kind of strange because it's like, how are they gonna market this? Like, I think that
Well, you just literally have it Nintendo Switch 2. Nintendo Switch 2. Just
yeah,
keep
I mean,
hammering
we're at the
home,
point
2,
now where
2.
people aren't like, it's not like the NES days where, what's the difference? Why do I gotta buy a new system? Everybody's used to buying new phones, new tablets, new PCs, new TVs.
But even 10 years ago with Wii U, I don't know, man. I think people still are not that
They're confused. It's
obviously not.
confusing.
So they gotta call it the Switch 2, which
Yeah.
sounds like they probably are. Which I don't. For some people are actually like, I can't believe it. Why would they do such a thing? I'm like, of course they would, man. This is a new
They
Nintendo.
should
They're
call
like,
it
we
the Super
Wii
Nintendo
U.
Switch.
They should
Yeah,
have.
everyone can say, oh, the Super Nintendo Switch.
No.
Yeah, I gotta
They get
call it that.
Come on,
Switch
Why would
2.
you
I gotta
call it
call it that. Yeah, like it has to be Switch 2. And the end of the day, like Nintendo, I mean, literally, you could do the Switch like little, like almost like a Switch 2 squared or something. Like you could do something cool with it.
I
It's
like Switch Plus, but I like Switch 2 if they make 2 like a component.
like a
Is that
square,
right?
like exponent. Yeah, like
Look,
two.
Yeah.
a component, exponent. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that would be
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And I literally we're only a few months from truly seeing it.
I found the
absolutely
sheet. I
guaranteed.
found the sheet with our predictions.
Well, I said
Hey.
January. I know.
Robert said January 23rd.
Pretty sure I said.
That's 1 month exactly from now.
Yep. T
From the
said
reveal?
February 20th.
Reveal.
Terrell said
Yeah.
January 20th. Sandstorm said January 16th. I said March 26th. I'm standing by that. I still
Man.
believe it.
That's like, to be fair though, that's like,
super
and I
late.
think Nintendo Life posted a video on this, and it's true that I forgot about this. It's literally absolutely guaranteed less than 100 days till we see this system, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no matter what.
They said that they're gonna reveal it before the end of
Before
next
March
physical quarter.
31st.
So, but like literally, it's 100 days regardless. No matter what time frame you're at, it's less than 100 days.
So
That's
I say
crazy.
95 days. We're gonna know what it is.
But isn't that exciting? We're gonna see a new 3D.
It's exciting for the games, but like I said, the hardware side of it, I'm not gonna be mad at somebody saying that. I'm not excited by that.
Hardware side, yeah.
But
I want to see new powerful Nintendo.
Seeing
Mario Kart.
Yeah, seeing those games running at PS4 plus plus levels of visuals, like come on, it's gonna be amazing.
That's what I'm excited for.
Just saying it out loud makes me so excited, man. I can't wait.
And then 6 years from now, we'll have the new Zelda game in that.
And we'll all be gray. All of us will be gray at that time.
All gray?
Yeah. All gray, yeah. Some of us are already graying.
I won't have any dark hair.
Hey, look, I've seen a few white hairs for me, so.
I used to be able to pluck them out one at a time.
It starts happening earlier than you realize. It does.
I was 29, 30 the first time
Yeah. I was late 20s.
One of these days, I might dye it just for the hell of it, see what it looks like. Go like dark brown.
You got to do it at least once and see if it looks how you know.
Because last time I dyed it, it wasn't this gray.
No.
But it does. Dyeing hair does make it fall out.
A whole gray patch up here. What the fuck?
The Lions defensive coordinator has a fully white goatee, and a little bit of he's got like salt and pepper hair, but then his goatee's just absolute white, just out his chin. It looks pretty cool, actually. But yeah, the Switch, I don't know, man. It's just weird to think that's hardware wise, they're just really. I mean, that's what I said. That's what I always thought they should do.
Software wise, are we gonna get a UI that has a personality, or not only that, we talked about Miiverse. Are we actually going to get Miis again? That's a question. I think
you'll still have Miis. Like it'll be
Miis?
It'll be the same thing like on this hardware where they're barely used. They're just barely.
You think you can create your avatar and just call it Rob and Juice, or are you gonna have your like a Nintendo Network ID situation, or is it just gonna be the generic nickname thing still?
Oh man.
You got to remember, me because it was a play on Wii.
Mm-hmm.
So are they going to continue to call them Miis 3 systems later?
Switches.
Wouldn't it be something if it was identical UI? It's just they carried it right over. Everything's the same.
Oh man,
that would be disappointing. That would
be very Nintendo.
It would be very disappointing.
That would feel like a graphics card upgrade more than just as much as the PS5 was a PS4.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that would be disappointing.
Got my new GPU and my Switch.
Yeah, it's backwards compatible, so it just plays all the games. So it's just literally, it would feel like you're just getting a new, more advanced GPU in that case. So I would love it. I would love it that you get a Miiverse back, some sort of Street Pass sort of thing, like something to
some
get
sort of community thing.
I'm surprised they got rid of Street Pass. Like that's. Street Pass is completely harmless, and it was a very cool little feature that.
Yeah. Well, I guess to be fair though, with Street Pass, it all involved Mii's, and maybe like you said, T, they don't really want to keep involving.
I'm just saying, maybe they'll have a new avatar and just call it something else. Do
you even need like at this point? Do we even need like just an icon picture is enough, really?
Well, I mean, they could have these guys from Switch Sports to avatars, Literally, because you could customize him.
Yeah, it just depends on what type of games they're going to be putting out. You might want Mii's in certain types of games, like Wii Sports or.
I don't know. You can play your Mii. You can play your Mii in this guy in this game.
It just feels kind of weird at this point. No one else has like 3D avatars anymore. Like, does Nintendo need to keep some?
No one else is doing what Nintendo's doing.
I think they'll still keep them regardless because they are also one of the only companies that make games like these. So they still.
Well, yeah, with Smash Ultimate, do you have to have
Xbox has avatars?
No, but they're stopping it. They didn't see that they're shutting down Avatars.
Because the Xbox shuts down everything.
I'm not I was very surprised when I read this. This was only
I didn't
a
know they were
few
still a
weeks
thing.
ago. Well, you could
Yeah.
barely use them and things, but now they're like they're like, hey, we're not even gonna. Let me see what it is.
Why shut it down? What is it
I
hurting?
know, like, well, yeah. I
What is
don't
it
get
costing you? Nothing. Leave them the fuck
Yeah,
alone.
very, very strange. Let me see Avatar. See, look, Avatar. I mean, yeah. Now I'm reading Avatar like as Xbox is shutting down the Avatar editor app and offering refunds starting in January.
Refunds
they're-
for what? Oh, people bought accessories and shit.
Yeah, people bought stuff.
That's your dumbass. I ain't bought no goddamn accessories for no.
So ending
Yeah.
support for the revamped characters first introduced in 2018. Yeah, because they did have like a revamped version of them, but like to me like I like the more simpler style of these avatars. You know, like
Yeah.
the Avatar, the Me. I think they are a simpler style that is really cool. Like these guys fit in Switch Sports. They have like the art style for that, but like in terms of just Mii's, they are really cool.
Everything gives you an option to do that kind of thing. You know, even if it's like really rudimentary.
That is true. I mean, literally everything. Even like stuff like social media apps now let you
Yeah.
make your own little
Right.
characters. So I would be surprised if they really take it out.
People like to customize this shit. It doesn't have to be a something for you to make money. You know, just give somebody a little cool little option like that. You don't need to
Yeah.
make money off of it. Jeez.
Although, man, we need some sort of community feature back because I would love it if you do have like a Warrior Plaza again, and you have
Yeah.
you know
You
you
can
have your
actually
Mii's in
interact
there
with
that look-
people.
God, man, it just they need something like that.
Robert
again
still
to
be
come back.
banned.
I hope not, man. But they literally could. They could just
He
literally
will
just
not be
transfer
calling
over that.
himself fish stick.
They could literally just transfer over. They're like, all right, who was banned on this? Oh, you were banned a decade ago. Sorry. Damn.
Oh my gosh. They probably would. That would be very Nintendo.
Yeah, they don't transfer any of the purchases through eShop, but they'll transfer your ban.
Right.
That's what, they'll do something
Welcome
like
to the block party as it continues.
that. But yeah, that's I really hope that little C button means, I mean, something to do. Maybe just like if it was a W button, we'd be like, well, what's the W? It's for what? It'd be Water Plaza. Like what? We would never predict that. So maybe it'd be like, Chatterata Zone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something that we don't quite know.
I'm
that would be
hoping,
awesome.
and I have a feeling we are going to be surprised with the hardware in some way. But my expectations are so low. I would love them to present something that would make me super happy about the hardware. So, other than it being more powerful,
I would like
cool.
Copy PlayStation's adaptive triggers and haptic feedback. Take the HD Rumble to the next level because the games that use it, it's really cool. And it's sad that PlayStation is using it more than Nintendo really used the HD Rumble. I mean,
only Nintendo fans who play PlayStation care about that. Like,
maybe.
I don't think.
You don't think they're gonna have that anymore?
No, I just don't think it's a big thing. It's a cool thing to have. I want it for sure, but I think it's one of those things that you could say, "Hey, this is what we do different," but nobody really cares about it at the end of the day.
I'd be curious if how many people like turn it off for like Horizon and stuff, where you feel like when you're pulling the bow and stuff, where you get that feedback.
I've seen a few people on Twitter where people would say to turn off, and it blows my mind. I'm like, I would never turn it off.
Yeah, I see people say about turning it off. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, I don't get that at all, to be honest with you.
I don't get that shit.
Yeah, this is crazy because we were talking about stuff. I just happened to jump on Best Buy. I was looking at pre-Christmas sales, and there isn't a Series X nearby other than a bundle. You have to get 24 months of Game Pass for $900 is the only Series X.
Holy
Best
shit!
Buy. Everything else is the S.
Yeah, some
really?
Sony guys making waves recently.
They have the digital Series X.
He got one.
Yeah, I was gonna say I see one right now.
He bought one. He has like 24 months of like Game Pass and shit, and he was like, "I was wrong. I was wrong about Xbox, guys." And like, so a lot of his, I guess his core fan base is upset. But like a lot of the Xbox guys are embracing him. And he's like, it's like I'm a Sony guy, and I've always been a Sony guy forever. and I didn't realize how fucking toxic we can be with just making a simple statement like, "Oh, the Xbox is really cool." How much hatred he's gotten from his core fan base. He's being surprised by that right now. But yeah, he said something about how cool it is. You know, I was one of those guys hating on Game Pass, blah blah blah, and then now I have it, and I'm like, this shit is amazing. It's like I was paying for, what is it, PS Plus? I was paying for that, and it sucks. It's nowhere near as many games and especially first party type of stuff, and this is just way better. It's just so.
Yeah, I think
Don't take it from me.
Anybody who plays for the high-end PlayStation Plus stuff is just, to me, is stupid. Like there's
I think isn't that where PS3 is and that tier?
Yeah, I don't know why you're paying for that though.
I mean, what do you get out of that?
You're paying for the PS3
game.
Paying for PS3,
Yeah, but,
PS1
I mean,
games. Come on, man. Come on. You're paying for that for.
Yeah, that's stupid. I mean, like,
I think it's a dumb thing to put that as a here. I think it's dumb to put that at the highest tier. That makes no sense. I don't know.
But yeah, it's just
I think
weird.
that should be at the lowest tier.
Nintendo does something similar, but it's obviously way cheaper.
But that's what I'm saying. It's way cheap. It's literally the base tier you get games, and the other tier you get some other games. Like it's not like it's like the highest tier is.
But then again, we're not talking about. They're not putting Wii games, GameCube games on there. So
yeah, but the highest tier is PS1 and PS2, and it's literally all of them. It's all of them. So that's why they don't.
Oh, they're only in the highest tier. PS1,
yeah.
PS.
Yeah, that's the weird thing. That's what I found. It's literally all the retro games, like classic games, is all of them on there. It doesn't matter what console.
That's bullshit. Yeah,
that's just I don't know
I'm pretty sure that's
why anybody would have got
somebody's paying for it.
Yeah, I don't. And then it's weird because it's streaming is the PS3. You can't actually download it, and I get why, but like, man,
I don't get why. Because there's emulators, really good PS3 emulators out there made by fans and shit. Why can't Sony commission one?
That's true too.
They can do it. They just don't. They won't do it for whatever reason.
See, like the classics catalog is only a premium, which is.
Fuck, I can run PS3 on this fucking thing. I can run PS3 emulated on this, so it's like, come on, they can do it. They just won't do it.
Man, every year. It's a lot of money. $160 so you could stream PS3 games and.
It's the same with Game Pass, but hey, I'm getting day and date first party shit, and plus.
Yeah, I mean, just, to me, it's like I don't know, like.
Everything Activision Blizzard, everything, Bethesda. Well, not Activision Blizzard yet, but they're rolling them out. There's just way more options.
If you're comparing those two, I mean, there's not even a comparison. Yeah. It's like. But if you were somebody who wasn't paying for any of the service, then you're suddenly paying, a couple $100 a year for Game Pass. You might have, but like I said, it depends on how you use it.
Yeah, and I'll always say it, and I said
depends on how you game.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. That very much depends on how you game, because if you're not playing a lot of these games day one, I mean, you're not 100% getting.
I think most people are gonna want. That have it are going to at least try the game day one. Maybe but like I said, if a bunch of games come out, you're not going to be able to get through them all in a month. So, like, it just depends.
Again, you don't have to have this shit every month. You can just be like, all right, well, this game's dropping. I'll get it. I'll get a 3-month or I'll get a whatever.
Well, so what about if it's like, let's say someone who wants to play like a really long game, right? I almost, Microsoft doesn't quite have those. Well, I mean, you played a ton of Starfield
games. Starfield.
There's plenty of games.
But if you're going to play it a long time,
first party, like from them, like they don't. I know Fable probably won. Probably the Avowed will probably be pretty long.
All the Fables Avowed is going to be longish.
So like
Starfield,
like at what point? Let's say someone who really just wants to play Starfield, maybe a couple other games, like. And they're extending it. At some point you're technically paying more than what you've been paying to play Starfield. Like that's why I would tell someone just pick up Starfield.
If you're buying it just for, and you're using Game Pass,
that would be
wrong.
Using it wrong. Yeah.
That's why I don't. Just for party stuff.
I think it'd be dumb for the Call of Duty guys to switch over to Game Pass.
Yeah, if you're just Call of Duty and you're just that's stupid.
If you can get live for $60 for the year.
I mean, this is just a small collection of the games I have, and it's going to be hard to see. But I'll just read through them. I mean, I got Mad Streets, Full Throttle remastered, Little Gator Game, Those Who Remain, Hellblade, Super Lucky's Tale, Bolt Gun, which is fantastic, Warhammer 40,000 Bolt Gun, Metal Slug Tactics. It's a new game. I got a Hi-Fi Rush on here, obviously. Psychonauts, Humanity, that's a newish game. Deathloop, I haven't played that.
That's a great game.
Sea of Stars, obviously Forza. Hell, even Minecraft Dungeons is on Game Pass still. So like,
And I'm sure Minecraft is on it. You could play.
yeah, Minecraft is on there too. Obviously, yeah, it's right there. I have it installed. I haven't really touched it. I only play it with my kids. That's why I haven't. But yeah, like,
okay.
there's if you're only buying if you only get it for that, then just wait until those games come out and get a 3-month or whatever.
Yeah.
And
But
play it that
at
way.
this, I mean, depends on
It's
what one you
still-
get. A 3 months is
Games are
cost the price of
$70.
a game.
Games are $70. So if you play 3 first party Microsoft games, you've made it's paid for itself. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
That's if you
get
don't-
Call
gotta
of
go-
Duty, you get Call of Duty and 2 other games. Game Pass is paid for itself. You paid with 3 games. So
I
and
mean,
then you still got all this other shit you can play.
it's
So it's the
definitely
value is
for
there
people
me.
who are like, I don't care about owning a game. I just want to play it and
Right.
move to the next
But
one.
again, that's not even true. We talking about me here, right? So I like owning the game, but that's going to be harder and harder on Xbox for one,
Yeah.
because a lot of these games aren't even on the disc at this point. But I could fucking play the game, and as the collector in me, I can just I can buy the game if I want, and put it on a fucking shelf, and that's it, you know. So it's collected, you know. So I don't really lose anything, especially when games get super cheap. You know, like if you wait a few years and you buy the game when it's $20 and you already played it on Game Pass, like that's fucking fantastic. I love that. So
Yeah.
I can have my shelf.
I would say
behind me.
for me, like I said, this year has been, I think the first 3-4 months I barely played anything. I was focusing on my home theater and movies and stuff. So this has been the slowest, I think, game total year for me ever, or at least since I started doing the top 10 or top 5 games of the year. Because literally I played Street Fighter 6. I played Darksiders 2 maybe 10 hours. And then
Street Fighter 6 came out this year? No, that was last year, right?
I played it this
I think
year.
that was. Oh, you played it this year, okay.
I played a little bit of Darksiders 2, and then I played the 5 games and some Elden Ring. You know, like, that's all I played this year. So I ain't spending no $220 a year to play, 5-6 games. You know, especially, obviously the games I played weren't on Game Pass, but even if Sony had a Game Pass, like, still, I'd rather, just for me, I don't play enough to justify having it for the whole year, you know?
And by the way, you don't have to fucking pay full price for this shit all the time either. I wait until deals show up. So I'll get the 3-month. They got deals right now for it. Like you don't have to pay
Yeah.
the full price for it. There's always deals. I'm always looking for deals. So that's another thing. You don't have to pay like.
But
what is
the
it,
other issue
19
would
a month?
be if you have Game Pass, you're paying for the ultimate. You're paying for it for the whole year. But then like 5 games you really want to play come out that year that aren't on Game Pass, and it's kind of an additional cost, you know, type of thing. It's not like you're going to be able to play everything you want to play, which I wouldn't expect it to have that. But for me, I was like, when Red Knight was talking it up, it only had 100 games. Game Pass was just 100 games, and like 30 of them were rare replay.
It was also cheaper then, too.
Rare replay was 30 of the 100, and then I think it was only like $10 or $8.99 or something.
Right. So
You know,
as the library leveled up, the cost.
but I was like, yeah, that's
I was
cool,
gonna
dude.
have-
But this game, and this game I played this year, they're not on there. So it's like I gotta pay for Game Pass and buy these games. You know, that's where to me it was always. It's just, but like I said,
And for someone like me who waits years to play games, you know, like you get them for so cheap that I just don't even.
Yeah, you
for
have
me, I
no
wouldn't-
need for it. Yeah.
Yeah, for me
It's not going to
personally.
be a great value for everybody. But again, if you have kids and it's like I don't have to sit here. They only play certain fucking games, right? They play like
For certain, probably a certain
they're
amount of time,
yeah,
right?
and
Yeah.
then like so you could just get them a fucking Game Pass card and let them have fun with that. They're
And
not
how about
like
Diner brings it up, and I'm curious what you feel. But I guess it depends on if you're thinking about digital or physical. Because I always thought, even to this day, I still think GameFly would be probably a better deal than than Game Pass, because you literally could just use any console. You could go. You could. I
yeah.
want to rent these games. Well, to be fair though, there's a difference. With Game Pass, I know you could technically download as many as you want at any time, and it's digital games, so a lot of them are
But you
going to
can
be
only
digital games.
play, one game at a time, type of thing.
Yeah,
Like
for sure,
it's
for
like
sure.
somebody
But
that
like,
has
but
three
my thing is,
motorcycles.
I
Like,
think, I think GameFly is super underrated. Where it's like GameFly, you literally rent brand new games for any console day one, and you could just rent it out, and you could actually rent out multiple if you really want to, and it's definitely. Let's see what the price is, but I don't know why. People was like, oh, I remember GameFly. GameFly's still around, and it still
It's still
exists,
around.
and it literally, you can use any platform from Switch to PS5 to even Blu-rays to. So it's like it's generally like a really good platform that I don't think people really think about, I've always thought that was like the best deal for
it
renting a
depends.
game.
Like at the end of the day, like yeah, I'm not the guy that goes back and plays all my old games all the time, but I'm replaying a couple games right now, or just putting them back in and spent some time with some games I didn't expect to this year, so it was nice to have. And then I have the closest thing to Game Pass was when I had PlayStation Plus for what 2 or 3 years in a row. I don't know if it was 2 or 3. And I added all these games to my library. Some I started, some I beat, and they still show up. I actually hid a bunch of them from my library because I just sick of seeing them. And I'm like, I don't have access to these games anymore. Yeah, I have these fond memories of playing this game, but I don't have access to it because I don't pay for it right
Yeah.
now. And it is kind of a weird feeling to see these games in my library and know I can't pay them or play them. It's kind of weird. So,
That's how I felt about That's how I felt about stuff. Like I rebought like Stick It to the Man that I had a PS Plus. I was like, oh, this game is awesome. That I didn't have PS Plus, and I couldn't even like start it up if I wanted to, unless I buy it.
but
I'm
I
like,
did
oh
try out
man.
a couple games I never would have played because of PlayStation Plus. So in that regard, if you could use Game Pass as
Trying out stuff.
a month
Yeah.
and say,
Well,
let me try some games and see what I like. So I think for me that would be probably the best use case for me. It's like I'm a little on the fence about this one. Let me just get Game Pass for a month and try it.
I'll just go through just the EA games. You got fucking Dragon Age Vanguard. You got uh FC 25, Madden 25. You got EA Sports WRC. You got FC 24, Immortals of Avium, Star Wars Jedi Survivors. I mean, these are all on Game Pass. And let's see, fucking golf and baseball and Wild Hearts and Dead Space, the new one, the remake, remaster or whatever. All the Mass Effects. I mean, the Mass Effect, what is it, the remastered trilogy and shit? I mean, there's a
I added that
ton.
to
The
my
Legendary
collection.
Edition.
That's one of those
It Takes
PlayStation Plus
Two,
games I
Crisis
added.
3, Star Wars
Really?
Squadrons, Battlefront, Jedi Fallen Order. I'm like, there's a ton of shit on here on Game
Yeah.
Pass. So I don't. I mean, yeah, you're gonna miss out on some new games from other studios day and date, but I mean, I don't know if you expect those to be on Game Pass day one anyway. But there's a ton of shit on here, and I don't think people realize it. That's just from EA. I mean, you're going all the way back
Yeah,
to
but that's
Mirror
why
Day
no, but that's why I
and
kind of bring up
Ravel and
the GameFly thing. That I feel like people also overlook that when we talk about PS Plus and Game Pass. And I'm like, if you're a multi-console owner and you want a game on a budget or try out new games, bro, you can literally pick up anything,
That is
anything.
true.
Literally, there's
yeah,
no
you can get
limit.
in
There's
there.
no, and I think people forget about GameFly, but I think that's generally a really good thing. Like that's it's not stuck to one thing, and you might even be able to go back to like the Wii and stuff. I know you used to. I don't know if you still can, but like you're able to. I mean, literally, they advertise Hogwarts Legacy, Pokemon Violet, Modern Warfare 2, Tears of the Kingdom, God of War Ragnarok, Top Gun Maverick for movies, the show
That shit coming in
23,
the
Jedi
mail. I mean,
Survivor. And they also have Blu-ray, yeah. So that's why it's like I've always thought like I'm like, to be honest, I personally feel the best the best thing if you're I guess if you're a multi-console owner, if you only have an Xbox, then sure. But like if you're a multi-console owner, like and you really want to game on a budget
Yeah.
and you want to do this stuff, like I think people have to look at GameFly. I
Yeah.
gotta give some respect to GameFly, to be honest with you, because
Yeah, I never
they
think of it.
surprisingly. I never think of it, but I've thought about it before of a little bit, and then I saw was it Donnie Arts brought up in the chat again, and I was like, that's true. I'm like, wait a minute, that's true. Yeah, GameFly. Yeah, I used to use GameFly when I was younger, but now when you get older, like you start to work a job and stuff. Like I'll just buy the games that I want, and then you start to build a collection. I'm like, this is my stuff. I love this.
Honestly,
But like for people on a budget, like I would actually point to GameFly over PS Plus, over Game Pass if you're unless you only have one console. If you have only a PS5, you only have an Xbox, then I'd be like, all right, then do your your respective things.
What
But
if you got a what if you got a PC?
then you
or
Steam
or
sale.
that too. Like if you only have a PC, then sure, then PC Game Pass.
PC Game Pass is stupid. It's stupid.
Absolutely.
Like,
No, like I'm not gonna say like that for sure. But like I think if you're a multi-console owner and you want a game on a budget,
It also
actually,
depends on.
I
I
would
know
probably
you collect
Game
games as
Flash.
well.
you can play PlayStation
Most
games
people
on
aren't going to buy the game physical
PC.
and pay for Game Pass, so I think you're a little bit of an anomaly in that situation. It just depends on if you want to own the games or not. Like, I mean, I guess that really is a big factor. And with it's digital, but yeah, I mean, you can own a digital game and always have it. Like I bought Jedi Fallen Order. I didn't love the game, but I got it for like $9 or something a couple years ago on a Black Friday PlayStation Store sale. And I mean, I own it technically. Don't own it officially, but I can play it anytime I want. And but for me, it's like that's just the thing. Like, yeah, there's some games that I played on PlayStation Plus that I was like, yeah, I never would have played it otherwise. Like a Plague Tale. What was the first one called? Innocence, I think it was called.
Innocence, yeah.
Final Fantasy VII Remake. I would have never picked up. Played that on PlayStation Plus. I started like what's that remaster? Alan Wake. Didn't care for it. Glad I didn't end up buying that. I got to try it.
Oh, I thought you bought that game. I thought you
No,
bought that game.
I just played it through that. And then some other games like the Lego 2K Racing or whatever. Definitely glad I didn't buy that. There's definitely some
Mortal
good
Kombat X.
yeah, some good games or some games that I tried that I'm glad I didn't buy, for sure. That's to me, like I said, from Game Pass, get it, try some games for a month, 2 months, and instead of spending money buying a game. That's to me, that's like I said, the best.
There are games that I discovered on Game Pass, and I'm like, well, I want to own that, and I went and bought it. So
that makes sense.
I don't think that's just a me thing. I think a lot of people would do that. Oh, I played this game on Game Pass. I love it. Now I can own it. So you can still own the game. And by the time you buy it, like you said, it's just like $10.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not even you're not even feeling that,
I would be curious though, because I have a feeling that a lot of people that there's a very big base of that Game Pass that don't like they wait till something's on Game Pass. They ain't going.
I don't know those people at all. I hear that from a lot of people who don't have Game Pass, but I don't know people who sit around and wait for like. Why would you do that? Because you don't know if that shit's coming to Game Pass.
I would say
so
if you're paying for it every month, the ultimate, you're probably going to stick to. I mean, I'm just like I don't know, but it just feels like
I think high-end Game Pass users are people who play games a lot. They're not sitting around waiting for fucking games. I don't think. I don't know anybody like that. None of the people I watch.
I'm just
like,
wondering.
I can't wait till this game comes to Game Pass. Then I'll play it. Nobody's. That's just stupid.
I'm sure there is somebody that is like,
sure,
I'm not gonna go.
There's always exceptions.
Here's my question. Do you think?
When you look on Twitter and you see like Game Pass for Twitter, right? And anytime they announce a game, it's like an announcement for a new game, and they're like, "Oh my god, it's coming to Game Pass!"
I haven't seen that in a long time, to be honest. But people
just go on Game Pass's Twitter, just go in the replies. It's for every game.
But like,
they're like, "Holy shit!"
Those are trolls.
I can't believe it.
I don't trust them. I gotta follow those people and see if they really about.
What about like? I can't think of like there wasn't a ton. I don't feel like there was a ton of like big multiplats this year. We had.
No, this was kind of a slower.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what like multiplats.
Major multiplat releases.
last year we had Baldur's Gate was like the big one. We had Elden Ring in 2022. Were the big ones.
Just look at the Game of the Year awards, and you can see that there weren't like
well, this year was
massive games that were multiplayer.
No.
So for some reason I'm forgetting.
We had Star Wars Outlaws, which didn't do that great. There was
for some reason.
Damn, why can't I think of another like big third-party game?
I don't quite keep track of.
Oh, Dragon's Dogma 2, I think.
I don't care for that game, but I know that it's going to be on Game Pass in a couple months.
Which one?
So I'll be able to play it. Outlaws.
Yeah, that one. I've found already.
That's a game I'm waiting for.
Oh wait,
Game
that's
Pass
Ubisoft, right?
I'm like, yeah,
it's Ubisoft.
I'm waiting for Game Pass to play that game.
Do they put a lot of their games on there? Ubisoft?
Yeah, Ubisoft has a lot on there too.
Well, isn't it like Ubisoft?
You don't have as many as EA, but they have their own.
They tried their own, or they're still trying to push it. That's what.
They still have it.
Oh, they're losing. I guess they're losing a lot of money with Skull and Bones. Obviously, lost a lot of money. And Star Wars.
They're talking about continuing that fucking game though.
And then
bringing new content.
They were trying with the new Assassin's Creed, Star Wars. They're trying that pay scale where it was 70 for the base game, but then if you wanted all the content, you had the $100 version, and then you can get all this for the $17.99 a month or whatever. They're trying to push that.
Well, they have it. I believe PlayStation Plus includes Ubisoft Plus, but it's only like the premium version.
That's what Microsoft does with EA, and EA has their own shit too. EA Play.
And then also they have what was it, Ubisoft? I was my train of thought. Whatever. But yeah, I do know for sure that PlayStation Plus they got the Ubisoft Plus. It's a part of extra. It looks like. Well,
I would say if there was like a year where like multiple like big multiplats came out, obviously not from EA and places that would be on Game Pass. That's where I feel like if you were paying for the whole year plus like let's say there was 5 or 6 games you really wanted to play that weren't on Game Pass, that's where I would think would be like the worst case scenario situation, because it's like there's just I almost do feel like there are, like you said, the Ubisoft game. I know that's coming to Game Pass. I'm sure that happens, and it is what it is.
Still Protocol. I was like, it's on Game Pass.
That's
I'll play it now.
that was on PlayStation Plus when I had it, and I still didn't play it. And I'm like, I just can't bring myself to play this game.
They got Sonic Frontiers on PlayStation Plus.
Oh really? See, I would try. I would actually try it if I had PlayStation Plus right now.
On Game Pass. I think it was on Game Pass.
Oh, and they got the game Fist. You would actually like that game, Juice. I think. It's like a Metroidvania. The rabbit guy.
I remember that.
It's a really good game. Actually, you too, T. You would like that game.
Yeah, I play it. I'm playing it.
Mm.
Playing it right now. Yeah, I don't know if it's on Game Pass anymore, but I bought it on Steam.
So you're playing that game right now? The one with the
rabbit and the
great.
Cool. It's a dope game.
Absolutely. That shit was pretty.
But I played it first on Game Pass. I'm like, oh, this is cool.
It was on Game Pass. That's what I thought.
I went and bought it. I went and bought it. I was like, oh, this is cool.
I started Alien Isolation on Game Pass, but I never saw Xenomorph. That's how far I got. It didn't do anything for me. That game did not click with me in that first hour or two. I don't know.
Well, that's what it was for Ubisoft. That they just shut down another studio, whatever, X Defiant.
Oh yeah, the game X Defiant, yeah.
And they shut down the studio.
The studio too, yeah.
Ridiculous.
Apparently they what did they break up the studio that made the Prince of Persia Lost Crown?
Yeah,
they're gonna be bought out soon, man. They literally. I was. If you notice,
who wants to take on that debt? It's a dumbass move. Let them just break up.
God,
and
they used to be so good too.
Studios. Yeah.
And they've released good games.
They still make good games, yeah.
Those are the ones that don't sell. Nothing's really selling now, but their best, in my opinion, their last 3 best games. And I don't know how Avatar did, but I know Immortals didn't do great, and I know Prince of Persia was pretty. I would be shocked if it sold 1 million copies.
I think Immortals was a timing issue.
Because they released that along. Was that with Legion and Valhalla in the same month?
They didn't spread this shit out.
They got
not only that, but for some reason, if you look at the Ubisoft credits, they're always the longest credits for every game. They're always like an hour long, And I'm like, there's no way all these guys worked in this one game.
Riders
Because they
Republic
started
came
naming,
out. They had
yeah,
Crew
Riders
out.
Republic, and which actually I think I mean they still, when I played Riders Republic only a few months ago, people were still on it, and I think
The
they got
EA, that's the
actually.
crew, or is that Ubisoft?
That's Ubisoft.
Yeah, the crew.
Yeah,
They
I
have like
guess,
a online
Shutting
like,
that shit
version
down
of the
too.
Crew 2, and it's like
yeah,
they
it's
just.
right there. Shane.
It's not like those games are bad, but it's I don't know who their audience is anymore because they put out some good like I said, Immortals clicked a box for me. That was probably my favorite Ubisoft game since Sands of Time, you know.
Big for their britches. Like
but then they're
they
putting all this effort into Siege because that was making lots of
Money for them,
what do you call it, the microtransaction money,
yeah.
and they're
They
pushing
just
that.
got too big for their britches. Like they should have stuck to. Obviously, Assassin's Creed was a sure thing. I don't know if it's going to continue
Apparently,
to
like
be that.
there's been a couple good ones out of the last 4 or 5, but then they're just getting really long
No, the
and
Assassin's
padded.
Creed do well. It don't matter if they're good or not. They still do well.
Was it
Yeah, I
Origins
think
or
Valhalla was
Odyssey
like
that
the
people liked?
best-selling one when
Yeah.
they released.
They still do well. So they still have that name recognition with that. They just spread themselves too thin. Like, did they need Skull and Bones? We didn't need that shit. Who wanted that? Like, if you're gonna do that game, it should have been Assassin's Creed, Black Flag, whatever. That's what it should have been. Why are you making a new
It
game
should have
called
been.
Skull and Bones and doing less than what Black Flag was doing?
It should have been like the Xbox, the Rare game that I can't think of the name of, Sea of Thieves, where you like
Sea of
have a
Thieves,
crew and you
yeah.
can run around the ship, and it wasn't instead of this
That's what it should have
lazy
been.
ass. You win, and then it just screen goes like
X Defiant. Who
victory.
wanted that? Who needed X Defiant? Who wanted that?
Well, the funny is, X Defiant was doing good early on because people actually really liked it compared to Call of Duty. But then
Yeah,
Call
but-
of Duty comes out again, and then
Yeah,
people
that's the
hop on.
thing. Yeah.
Mhm.
People only have so much fucking time for these games.
Yeah.
People aren't going to be living in these goddamn games.
And their
There's
studio's
enough
too
games.
big to just live off of Prince of Persia's and Immortals games. Like you have,
Yeah.
they have 1,000 people making a game, and it's just
Yeah, and I don't even think these people work. Like they start naming people from like the other side of the world, and then they say like it's like the secretary's assistant and all. I'm like, yo,
They're too
they did not work
overextended.
on that game. They
They're
did not work
too-
on that game.
and
Yeah,
then they,
just-
I don't know
They
if
need to
you
downsize. They're too overextended.
Exactly.
They need to downsize.
Unfortunately, yeah.
snap the finger, get rid of half their staff, and
Jeez, it sucks, but like
It sucks,
unfortunately they kind of have to.
If you want to fucking survive,
they were
that's what you gotta
probably
do at this
there's
point.
probably Assassin's Creed developers who were mad when Elden Ring came out. They're probably, I think it was an Assassin's Creed developer who was shitting on the mission structure, the lack of a mission layout and stuff. Like that's what people don't
Yeah,
like
yeah.
about your games is all this
Right.
bullshit.
We make fun of that shit. The Ubisoft, what do they call it? The template, the Ubisoft template. We're tired of that shit.
That, and I didn't say
And
this.
it's unfortunate because they have franchises and they do like Prince of Persia right now, and like where they do go off that track. Again, even like Riders Republic is different, and I guess it did sell well
It
enough
was
because like
fun.
as I
We
said,
played it for a little bit.
yeah, and then I bought it and played it, and I actually enjoyed it for quite a bit. But it's like I don't know, they have to not they have to get rid of their Ubisoft stigma, where it's like you people wait because they know it's gonna go on sale for half the price literally a month later, and it's like it literally does. For every game, literally does the next month or 2 months after it's half price automatically off.
They
the bat.
destroy all their goodwill with a lot of these fucking games, like Watch Dogs. Everybody was excited for that fucking game,
Mhm.
and it was nowhere near what they were promising, and so you destroy all that goodwill.
And you
like
try to build a
Watch Dogs could
franchise
have
off of
been,
that.
yeah, it could have been a franchise. It should have been their GTA if they did the shit
And
right.
then the
but
hacking was just like a
it was
simple.
so cheap.
And
Well,
then
the thing is, like, it's still
their own
sold really
fault.
well. Still
It's
sold really well.
Yeah.
Then they
but
make this
it's the fact that-
Frankenstein's monster of part 3. It's like, what are you doing? Aiden is your
Yeah,
guy. I mean, he wasn't
quite
that
like-
compelling, but you could have made him more compelling. of a
Yeah, I
character.
quite like Legion, but it's in the end of the day, like
Yeah, I kind of like Legion too. I spent fucking 80 hours in that goddamn game,
yeah, I know that's the thing is that, but the thing is, they what they do is
but it was
they
very
you mess up-
Ubisoft-y.
it's all about your first impression, and your first
Mm-hmm.
impression was the screw up of Watch Dogs 1 of lying to people. That was
Yeah.
your first impression, And so when you make Watch Dogs 2, you'll still get sales based off the fact that Watch Dogs 1 was successful.
Watch Dogs 2 was fantastic though. It's better
It's
than
gonna
1.
start tapering off. You know what I mean? And now it's
Well, here's the
gonna start
problem,
tapering.
in my opinion. I mean, yeah, the reveal made it look like, oh my god, look at this next gen game. This Watch Dogs looks so cool. Look at the dynamic interactions. Look at the AI. And then the game comes out, and it was like, as far as I can recall, the first of these like cyberpunk where people are showing clips of like the AI where you shoot literally. I forget his name. He was friends with
like
Zen.
a side by side of the reveal.
You literally
versus what
shot
you actually got.
the toe of somebody on like the subway, like the edge of their shoe, and they just instantly die. I mean, there's shit like that in the game. GTA 3 was doing things that these modern games can't do where it comes to interactions. Cyberpunk, they fixed some of it, but it's still laughable compared to like GTA 4 especially. And not even
man. Robycat points all that shit out.
Just like what was I playing? Yeah, I was playing Cyberpunk, and I've people are walking through each other. There's just stuff that just breaks the immersion of these. You're in the sandbox world, and yeah, the first GTA 3 had some really annoying shit. With the police would just fucking crashing into everybody. It was just so ridiculous. But by 4,
the
was hilarious though.
4, like T said, you could start fights. You could do all this cool stuff.
Start a fight and walk the fuck away and watch the fight. From other people beating each other.
Red Dead Redemption 2. I saw a clip from it looked like Japanese text. He throws a knife at this dude, this rancher's wife, kills the wife. He's like a this round overweight farmer in overalls, and he just ran so that the guy never caught up to him, but never got far enough away, and he went all across the game world through all these locations with this angry farmer guy in overalls chasing him. They got to the water, and then they're like fighting, and he like drowned him in the water or something after the end, after like a 2-minute.
Hilarious.
And it's like, that's the shit that games like that, I mean, that's the stuff you can do, that people can post clips of Breath of the Wild 5 years later. You got to have that stuff in an open world sandbox game. You can't just half-ass it. And Ubisoft, they half-assed it with a lot of that stuff. I mean, as much as I like Avatar, I don't know if you started yet, but
I haven't.
It's cool at first. You just hear Navi in the forest, just a pair of Navi. They're just talking, and you're like, oh, that's cool. There's, and then, 100 times,
like a real world.
100 times later, though, you encounter Navi by the riverbed and stuff, and it's like, I don't know if they're saying the exact same thing, but it was kind of like, oh, I see the seams in this. Like, it's cool the first time, but there really wasn't much to it. You can't really mess with them and stuff, but I don't like to try to break games like that, so I never really tried to push it to see what they do. But, it's very superficial stuff that if you dig a little too deep or even a little bit, you can find the cracks.
Well, that's what I like about Starfield. I went up to this kid, and he started talking to me. He was telling me this whole intricate story about how his mom, she's struggling, and they came from. I'm like, this is clearly going to lead into a side quest, and it didn't. It was just a conversation I had with some kid on Mars, and I just left. And it wasn't a quest or anything. That's the kind of shit I like discovering in a game.
Well, I mean, that's
went on and on. I felt sorry for him. I was like, oh, what can I do to help them? I'm gonna do something in this next quest to help them. Nope. He's like, peace out, man. I'll see you next time.
Yeah, I mean, Bethesda's good at that, though. They are good with those types.
But
of
that game also
had
some of the cyberpunk stuff too, where you like pull a gun on people and
they
don't react, properly, and that's the next level stuff, man. Like that's what's gonna take. It's gonna take for a game to like really be that next leap in that open world sandbox.
Focused on.
I mean, hey, look,
making it big. And when you do that, you lose some of the details,
Yeah, because if you just play it,
the game is enormous. It is, I mean, like it says, everywhere, that's on that map you can go, and that's
for a game like that,
1,000
for
planets.
Sure you can't.
It's insane.
All procedurally generated and stuff, but
I would be surprised if GTA 6 is not that next jump of like, holy shit, in terms of details of just every little routine of people.
It better be after 12 years and
Well,
$1 billion.
Yeah,
I mean, they've always
yeah.
been really good at that. They like I
They've
said, they
always
have
been,
lost some of the ability because like Kirby Cat point this shit out, and I didn't even realize how much shit is like you can't do in 5 that you could do in 4.
Mm-hmm.
I was surprised at that too. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
there's-
noticed
there's
it
a
when
lot
I played it.
they lost a lot of stuff, but they're still very detail oriented. Like you still have these crazy conversations with NPCs walking down the street, and just stuff like that. So they're one of the companies that I think is still pretty good with that stuff.
For sure.
It just takes forever for the fucking games to come out.
Yeah.
So
One of the
Also,
things
I
I
mean,
was going to say
They
last
weren't really
week.
working on it. They weren't really working on it because GTA Online made so much money.
Yeah.
So
right,
they
they
didn't
make
do-
so much money with GTA Online, which is that's pretty cool. I mean, GTA Online is really cool.
Yeah,
The
but
interactions
man,
you have in.
I like the single player stuff.
But no, I don't. I mean, I don't really partake. But I think I can
Yeah.
see how people. I see why people like it a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah. People
One
be
thing,
role playing in that.
Yeah, it's role playing basically.
I kept trying to say it last week. We're talking about the Naughty Dog game. And Neil Druckmann was like, in 2022, he was all about Elden Ring. He's like, man, we want to try to incorporate this. Like, I love that people is just organic. People are just going and exploring and finding stuff for themselves. He's like, I want to try to put some of that in our next game. So I want to say last week, I'd be curious if they do that or if they still stick to their very linear
I don't know.
story-based
because
game with this one.
That was only 2 years ago. I'd be surprised that they start implementing that so late. You know
Yeah,
what I
well,
mean?
we don't know when this game's supposed to be out. It could have only been in development
Yeah.
for 2 years, you know?
Yeah, but if they've been they said they've been working since 2020.
Oh,
So
really?
that would be 2 years. Yeah, so that would be
Yeah,
2 years after. So I don't know. I'm not sure.
But it does blow my mind because I'm going from, even in Prince of Persia, I look at the map, I say, all right, I know I got the ability now, I can get that whatever's in that. I couldn't access probably a treasure chest, probably, whatever. So I'm like, all right, I go over, I go up, and I go 2 screens over. I'm like, shit, where do I go? I bring up the map. Like, I'm constantly looking at the map. And then I was playing, like, Horizon Zero Dawn, the remaster, and I'm constantly bringing up the map. And yeah, you can bring up a map in Elden Ring, but you rarely do because it's just, I don't know how they do it where no one else can do it like this. And I haven't tried any of the other, like, clone games, that Life of Pi or P or whatever, or Lies of P, some
P,
of the other
yeah.
games. But really, like, you just there's nothing telling you where to go or what to do. You just play the game and you explore and you find it and it works. Like, and
Yeah.
I mean, that's a completely different thing, but like, if you could mix that with some cool, like, interactions and sandbox stuff, like, every time I play Elden Ring, I'm just like, man, what's driving me to keep exploring? Like, how do I find out where to go? You just have to. There's no other option. That's the only way to play the game. You just have to decide on the map where you want to go, and you head in that direction and see what happens. That's
Kind of like the way we used to play games when they.
and
first
it's
started
like,
playing
yeah,
games.
it does. It just feels so refreshing, and with playing a little bit of Rebirth, and the first area was obviously very, very small and linear. And it's like, man, it's not every game needs to be this open, go wherever you want. Doesn't work for every game, but the fact that they pulled it off in an open world like that was just crazy. So
That's
that's
The Legend of Zelda, 1986.
basically, yeah.
Well, so Breath of the
Where's my
Wild.
map? I don't know. Just go play. Find out.
Yeah, you
Figure
don't
it out.
know bombing walls. I don't know who the first person
Yeah.
that figured out to bomb a wall
Right.
and found a secret was, but props to them.
I mean, hey, look. At the end of the day, we talk about Elden Ring, but Elden Ring, took a lot of inspiration also from Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild did a lot of
Yeah.
that type of stuff. Breath of the Wild was the one that truly innovated on the open world genre in
Make the world
2017.
actually like a character.
Breath of the Wild obviously gives you more direction with like the main quest stuff, though, like
Maybe,
highlights.
but just
But
the
yeah.
freedom of the world and,
Mhm.
and how you explore, how you.
Bitch,
how
I
you
ran
just-
around for 60 hours before I started doing any main quests in that game. Especially Tears. I didn't do shit right. I didn't do anything right in that game. I have a loincloth, or what loincloth? What is this shit called? Sailcloth, and none of that shit for like the first 20 hours. It's like, wait a minute.
I don't know how that's even possible.
They
I
were-
still don't get it.
They were
it's
smart.
easy.
They put a
Easy just to-
shrine right next to, not far after where you land on the ground. and it's near that the little tower. I forget that the
Mm.
main area, and you need the sailcloth to get past the shrine. So I was like, wait,
Yeah.
I guess I need to get the sailcloth. Let me go back to the town and talk to more people. That's how I found it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get that bitch for 20 hours. I think.
That's amazing. I just can't believe-
I was
you
just
can't
on the
imagine
ground. I was on the ground doing, and then I was in the depths and shit. I didn't really
damn, I'm
mess with
falling,
the
dying.
after I got to the ground, because Breath of the Wild, like, you got to get that bitch to get to the ground. You got to have
Yeah.
the sailcloth.
Yep.
But this game was different. You get the sailcloth on the ground, and I'm like, all right, I'm on the ground now, so I'm gonna run around, see new shit.
Well, there's probably a video of somebody beating Tears of the Kingdom without the sailcloth, and Retrodust's probably
Probably.
going to say you don't need it to beat the game.
Probably.
It's not a sailcloth game.
But anyway, we got to get out of here. My cats are
Yeah.
bugging me for food, and but yeah, Merry Christmas, Eve.
yeah,
Eve.
Christmas. This is it before Christmas.
I don't ever get like anything like movies or games or anything for Christmas, so but I do get clothes that I don't like shopping, so I do
I
appreciate
get
that.
myself a lot of those things.
I buy myself
I
stuff.
will be getting some stuff.
Yeah.
I gave my list of games from 2022 that I want to play.
I think like
So-
7
so
or
like,
8 movies came in today from that I bought. So looking forward
But
to
yeah,
that.
well, we next Monday, yeah, New Year's is on the same day probably as Christmas usually.
Yeah, that's it. Yes,
it's literally the
same
same
day.
So maybe we'll be back next Monday. Maybe we'll take a week off. I don't know. But yeah, if you guys have a happy holidays, and we'll see you on the next one.